What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
5BM. Chapter 101. Advertise here. In an instant, the three poor unlucky ghosts kept screaming, but their bodies were swallowed by Fulu. Soon, three figures descended from their original bodies to the ninja world. 3. It can affect the entire ninja world. First Hokage, Senju Hashirama. Second Hokage, Senju Tobarama. Third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Even if the remaining two are not mentioned, only one Senju Hashirama has the power to shake the whole world of ninja. Seeing this legendary figure reappeared, even the villains of the Akatsuki organization were shocked one by one. That's the god of ninjas. The man standing on top of all ninjas. No one will not be in awe. However, seeing everyone, the first one to speak was second Hokage, Senju Tobarama. Why did I reappear here? Is it forbidden technique, impure world reincarnation? Who learned the forbidden technique I invented and called us again? Orochimaru gave a dark smile. It's an honor, Master Hokage. I used impure world reincarnation and summoned the three from another world. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. Orochimaru, it turned out to be you. First Hokage scratched his head. What is going on? Although known as the god of ninjas, he does not seem to be majestic. Instead, he was a little dazed. Sarutobi Hiruzen hurriedly said, Master first generation, Master second generation, this man is my disciple. It was he who practiced the forbidden technique impure world reincarnation of the second generation master, who summoned us again. First Hokage patted his forehead. Hey, that's why, Tobarama, this technique is not a good technique at all. Look, you can't even die now. Shut up, big brother. Senju Tobarama interrupted the eldest brother immediately. Senju Hashirama froze for a moment, and immediately fell into depression. Everyone, this is the god of ninja. Senju Tobarama looked at Orochimaru and said coldly, Boy, you used impure world reincarnation to summoning us, what is it for? Orochimaru chuckled, well, let our boss say. He pointed in Pain's direction. Senju Tobarama's heart was shocked. The eyes. The legendary Rinnegan of Sage of Six Paths. How can it be? Pain stepped forward indifferently and told what had happened before. After listening to Senju Tobarama, he couldn't help but feel shocked. What? A kid from the Uchiha clan actually became the fourth Hokage. Monkey, what's the matter with you? The monkey is third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. The nickname given to him by first generation and second generation. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed. The man named Uchiha Qianyu is indeed powerful and quite scheming. The old man is indeed miscalculating. Today's Konoha village has completely fallen into the master of the Uchiha clan. Senju Tobarama was furious. There is such a thing. I will personally. Wait, Tobarama. First Hokage stopped them both. I just heard them say that, didn't this man named Uchiha Qianyu manage Konoha village very well? He wiped out the four great nations alone, allowing the entire ninja world to maintain at least superficial peace, but the members of the Akatsuki organization wanted to start a new war, and he evaluated his own power to defeat them. Moreover, in Konoha village now, among the big families, all ninjas admire him and unite as one. Isn't this a very qualified Hokage? Why are you so angry? Senju Tobarama immediately said. Brother, you are too naive, the evil of the Uchiha clan, don't you see less? Did you forget, Uchiha Madara? At this time, the mysterious masked man has disappeared. Before third Hokage arrived, he temporarily disappeared. Leave everything to Pain to deal with. Senju Hashirama was silent. However, his mind still seems not as decisive as the second generation and third generation projects. Tobarama, monkey, I think I should wait until I see Uchiha Qianyu to talk about this. Brother, I want to see him first and talk to him. Senju Tobarama snorted coldly, but obviously there is no way to change his mind. Sarutobi Hiruzen also sneered. Unexpectedly, there is actually a chance to come again, in that case. This time, you must pay the price. Uchiha Qianyu. Akatsuki naturally did not stop the three people. Certainly, they also don't have this strength. As Orochimaru said, a fully body Senju Hashirama, once summoned, they cannot be manipulated. Find flowers. Even if he is the caster of impure world reincarnation, it is impossible to control Senju Hashirama. This is the strength of the ninja god. As a result, Akatsuki and third Hokage parted ways. Third Hokage rushed in the direction of Konoha village. And Akatsuki was silent for a moment, looking at the back of the three people. Hoshigaki Kisame smiled. Boss, what are you going to do next? Pain said. We can't pin our hopes on third Hokage. So, the mission must continue. Catch the tail beast. Orochimaru, responsible for continuing to capture 5 tails. Hoshigaki Kisame, responsible for continuing to capture 6 tails. I will think of other things. Moreover, I will continue to recruit new members. Today's manpower is really not enough. Good. Pain and Konan left Orochimaru's secret base. 0. Pain, now the Akatsuki organization, where should we go? Pain said calmly. As long as you can capture all the nine-tailed beasts and gain real power, no matter if it is Uchiha Qianyu or Senju Hashirama. Conan sighed. Yes, but it is not easy to capture the tail beast with our current strength. Especially 8 tails and 9 tails. Pain was silent for a moment. Yes, but it's not impossible. Next, let's go to the Land of Thunder in person. Good. After everyone disappeared, Void twisted. A figure reappeared in the same place. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Do you want to resurrect that man in advance? Third Hokage, who has passed away, reappears in the ninja world at the same time. The ninjas responsible for guarding the borders of Konoha village suddenly saw a shocking and incredible scene. Let's wait until all the 9-tailed beasts have been captured and the first step of my plan is completed. It is the mysterious masked man. That's. No one can be completely trusted, and of course that man is the same. As Senju Hashirama coming again. The void was twisted, and his figure disappeared again. Quickly notify Lord 4th Hokage. A few days later. It's even more interesting now. No, my current strength is not enough. Quick. The 3 Hokage adults who died. 3rd Hokage, Senju Hashirama, Senju Tobarama, Sarutobi Hiruzen, appeared on the edge of Konoha village. Chapter 102. Advertise here. Without the notice of these ninjas, Qianyu had already sensed their arrival. Senju Hashirama, Senju Tobarama, of course, there is. Sarutobi Hiruzen. Qianyu sneered, as Orochimaru's masterpiece. Unexpectedly, even the old things like 2nd generation and 3rd generation are also out of impure world reincarnation. I see. I'm afraid that 1st Hokage won't do anything to me, right? Really meticulous. If what Qianyu is doing now is only 1st Hokage Senju Hashirama, I am afraid that not only will he not feel that there is any problem, but will rather agree. But if you add the 2nd generation project and the 3rd generation project, things are completely different. These two people are hostile to the Uchiha clan from the bottom of their hearts. It is impossible for Senju Hashirama to completely ignore the opinions of two people. This is the purpose of both being summoning at the same time. Qianyu understood all this in an instant. He smiled slightly. Whoosh. The figure disappeared instantly in Hokage's office. Next moment, he has come to the border of Konoha village. At this moment, many Konoha village ninjas, police forces, Nibyu, Moon, and even the elite ninjas of Bud have arrived. However, everyone was shocked and didn't know how to react. Well, the 3 legendary Hokage adults. Especially the 1st generation, known as the God of Ninjas. The man who created Konoha village in one hand. How to deal with it? I can only wait for Master Hokage to come out in person. Whoosh. Qianyu's figure appeared on the border of Konoha village. Everyone was overjoyed, and they all breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. Master Hokage is here. It's Master Hokage. Senju Hashirama's heart moved slightly. This Uchiha Qianyu is clearly popular. It's not like what Sarutobi Hiruzen said, he is a man who is extremely deep in the city, greedy for power, and cruel. Qianyu smiled slightly. 1st Hokage, 2nd Hokage, I'm really famous for a long time. Senju Hashirama also smiled. Ah, are you 4th Hokage of Konoha village now, Uchiha Qianyu? It seems that Konoha village is developing very well under your governance. Qianyu smiled lightly. 1st generation has seen the award. I don't know, you are coming out of impure world reincarnation, what are you going to do when you come to Konoha village? Is it because I, Hokage, did not pass the test, so I want to impeach me from office? Senju Hashirama laughed. No, you did a good job. However, at this moment, Senju Tobarama sneered, it really is a man from the Uchiha clan. You killed Sarutobi Hiruzen and took the seat of Hokage. Qianyu's heart moved. He said calmly. 2nd generation, what you said is like I killed 3rd generation and conspired to seize power. However, the entire Konoha village knows that I do Hokage is what everyone wants. As for Sarutobi Hiruzen, he conspired to launch a rebellion. As Hokage, I have to take action to suppress it. All the ninjas and civilians in Konoha village are witnesses. Many ninjas nodded one after another. It can be seen that Qianyu's prestige is high today. Senju Tobarama was furious. Sarutobi Hiruzen will rebel. Nonsense. Sarutobi Hiruzen also hurriedly said, Master 2nd Hokage, don't listen to his nonsense. It was the Uchiha clan who conspired to rebel. The old man had to be dispatched in order to suppress, but he was killed by this man. He is the culprit who split Konoha village. Snapped. Sarutobi Hiruzen just finished speaking, and suddenly, a figure appeared instantly. He appeared in front of him in an instant, and slapped him out with a fierce slap. Snapped. Loud. Everyone was shocked. Qianyu slapped Sarutobi Hiruzen with a sudden slap. Sinner of Konoha village, is it your turn to speak? Qianyu sneered, and with this slap, Sarutobi Hiruzen was directly fanned out hundreds of meters. Half of the face was directly shattered. However, the body of impure world reincarnation soon began to slowly recover. However, as 3rd Hokage, he was slapped severely in public. This is a great shame. It's worse than death. You. Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly smoked from his 7 orifices, and was so angry that he couldn't speak. And at this moment, Senju Tobarama does it right away. He seemed to know that his eldest brother might stop him. So there is nothing more to say. This is second Hokage, vigorously and resolutely, and the methods are fierce. Snapped. Water style. Water severing wave. Boom. A water column formed an incomparable straight line, severely slashed and cut down. It is the water style technique that second Hokage Senju Tobarama is best at. Water style. Qianyu sneered and stretched out his hand. Susanoo's arm appeared instantly. There is a circular chakra shield in his hand. Yada mirror. An artifact to defend everything. Boom. The water severing wave hit the Yada mirror fiercely, but there was no way to break the defense. Yada mirror. Mangekyo Sharingan secret technique of the Uchiha clan, Susanoo. Senju Tobarama was immediately shocked, but he did it faster. Flying Thunder God Slash. Boom. His figure disappeared instantly. In the next moment, he slashed out fiercely. It turned out to be behind Qianyu. This move was exactly what second Hokage used to kill Uchiha Izuna. With Flying Thunder God technique and slashing, you can see ghosts and kill people invisible. Extremely spicy. ZZZ. Qianyu's body was instantly slashed and passed. Master Hokage. Numerous ninjas and civilians in Konoha village couldn't help but exclaim. Although these people are all Hokage, but compared to those who have long since passed away, only exist in the legendary name. Or Uchiha Qianyu is more important to them. Be close and in awe. However, Qianyu's body has already turned into a thunder. Although this trick Flying Thunder God Slash is powerful, it is just cut a lonely. Qianyu sneered, taking advantage of second Hokage to be slightly stunned, and blasted out with a fierce blow. The gun of thunder. Prick. Boom. In an instant, second Hokage's body was punctured. In an instant, a big hole appeared in his chest instantly. In addition, the black thunder kept slashing, and the black flame kept burning. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. The black thunder fire that can constantly erode the body. However, in this way, the endless burning thunder fire was also cut down by him. Using a katana, he made a big hole directly in his body. Second Hokage is really a ruthless person. This is the body of impure world reincarnation. As long as it is not a continuous attack, it can't hurt them at all. I invented the forbidden technique of impure world reincarnation. It's really not trivial. Senju Tobarama's heart was shocked, but he immediately smashed out the black thunder flames burning in his entire body. Are they more terrifying than Amaterasu? Unfortunately. Qianyu also smiled slightly. Meet me. The hollow body that was gouged out soon began to slowly recover. However, even so, I can gouge my body and internal organs so decisively. No one knows how to use it better than I do. As expected of second Hokage. Chapter 103. Advertise here. Senju Tobarama sneered. The evil kids of the Uchiha clan. Dare to speak up here. Flying Thunder God Slash. He teleported out again in an instant, and in the next moment, he had already slashed again. Qianyu didn't care at all. With this blow, he immediately turned into a thunderous body again. Boom. A terrifying blow. After all, it was just a slashing defeat. Qianyu sneered. Why do you want to do it again if you know it will not work? Senju Tobarama did not speak. Sarutobi Hiruzen slowly returned to his original shape. Master Tobarama. His lightning style is very special. It can turn his body into a thunder hollow. Normal attacks can't reach him. Unless it is wind style or Shanshu. I'll help you. Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately displayed his wind style. Wind style. Whirlwind flurry. Senju Tobarama immediately displayed his water style. Water style. The water dragon bites and explodes. The ninjutsu performed by two people at the same time instantly merged into one, exploding the terrifying power of compound ninjutsu. After all, it was the combined force of the two generations of Hokage. It was so powerful that everyone was amazed. As expected of Master Second Hokage. You can display such a terrifying water style in a place where there is no water. 24. Not to mention Sarutobi Hiruzen, second generation Senju Tobarama's chakra is as big, although it is not as big as first generation, but it is not too different. What's more, the three of them are now in the state of impure world reincarnation, and chakra can be said to be endless. So, for a moment, the wind and water style method that the two of them used together instantly turned into a violent and biting wind-water dragon, biting towards Qianyu fiercely. Interesting. Qianyu just smiled. His Mangekyo Sharingan was activated instantly. The huge Susanoo appeared in the field instantly, descending between heaven and earth. Yada mirror. With a bang, the terrifying wind-water style compound ninjutsu slammed on Susanoo, but it only made Susanoo sway slightly. Mangekyo Sharingan's ability, Susanoo. Senju Tobarama frowned. But, he sneered slightly, and then teleported by again in an instant. Flying Thunder God technique. In an instant, he appeared behind Susanoo. A slash stabs out fiercely. Boom. Naturally it is impossible to break through Susanoo's defense. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned and said, Master Tobarama, Susanoo's defense is very strong. Senju Tobarama said calmly, of course I know. But. He sneered, suddenly a seal, and coldly said, blast. Tandem paper bombs. Qianyu's heart moved. Know that this is Senju Tobarama's most powerful attacking technique. Tandem paper bombs. Use the detonating talisman to summon the detonating talisman. Once hit by the detonating talisman, it is impossible to survive. In the original game, Senju Tobarama used this trick to even knock Ten Tails to the ground. Even Senju Hashirama's Sage Art Myojin gate was blasted. Qianyu glanced at Susanoo and found that a detonation talisman had indeed been posted there. He smiled slightly, as expected of second Hokage. Then, the overwhelming explosion has begun. In an instant, the detonating talisman was called out one after another, and then it exploded continuously. Constantly roaring. Boom, boom, boom. The whole earth is shaking, the whole mountains and rivers are shaking. As if the sky is falling apart. The ninjas of Konoha village immediately fled and ran a few kilometers away. And Senju Tobarama just watched Susanoo being completely obliterated by the explosion. Disappeared in the dust, and the bodies of impure world reincarnation of the three of them were blown to pieces at the same time. However, after Susanoo disappeared, tandem paper bombs finally stopped. Soon, the three impure world reincarnation bodies reappeared on the Emperor. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned and said, Master Tobarama's tandem paper bombs is really an incomparable horror move. At this time, Uchiha Qianyu must die, right? Senju Tobarama suddenly moved in his heart. His perception ability is also unparalleled in the world. However, at this moment, think beautiful, snapped. Qianyu teleported again suddenly, and slapped Sarutobi Hiruzen's face with a fierce slap again. Boom. He was suddenly fanned out again. This time it was even more ruthless. I was blown away directly, I don't know how far away. Senju Tobarama immediately felt the danger, and immediately started jumping with Flying Thunder God technique. However, Gao Tianyuan, Qianyu's teleportation is faster than him. Namikaze Minato's Flying Thunder God technique is better than second generation. However, it is no better than Qianyu's Gao Tianyuan. Not to mention now, Qianyu instantly moved behind Senju Tobarama, and a black thunder spear stabbed in. Boom. Senju Tobarama's body, starting from the hollow in the middle again, slowly turned into coke and turned into dust. Senju Tobarama sneered. The impure of the Uchiha clan, the body of impure world reincarnation is impossible to be destroyed. You are just useless doing this. Qianyu smiled and said, really? Senju Tobarama's face changed. This is the sealing secret of the Uzumaki clan. In an instant, on Senju Tobarama's body, a series of runes appeared, which quickly turned into a complete seal technique, enclosing his entire body. In an instant, he couldn't move anymore. Impure world reincarnation, it is true that the body cannot be wiped out, but can still be sealed. In the Fourth World War, the ninja allied forces used the sealing technique to deal with the impure world reincarnation army. For Qianyu, the sealing secret technique of the Uzumaki clan is even more easy to come by. After all, his wife is Uzumaki Kushina. Senju Tobarama sneered, do you think the sealing technique can seal me? He shouted angrily, ready to explode chakra to release the seal. However, don't waste your effort, Tobarama. Senju Hashirama finally spoke. It's not just the sealing technique, his chakra is still above you. Senju Tobarama glanced. This guy, how could? Qianyu's chakra is on par with his elder brother Senju Hashirama. Although there is still a slight gap, he is from the Uchiha clan, with terrifying pupil power blessing, coupled with his countless secret arts, even better than Senju Hashirama. Senju Tobarama struggled desperately for a long time, and finally found that he couldn't resist at all. Qianyu smiled slightly. Very well, seal one off first. Qianyu looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen coldly. Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly paled. You, what are you going to do? You sinner of Konoha village, shut up. You, Uchiha Qianyu, you. He healed soon afterwards, but soon he was blown up again. Sarutobi Hiruzen was beaten badly, but was directly sealed, unable to move at all, and suddenly became so angry that he could not move. Boom. Sarutobi Hiruzen fainted with anger. The state of impure world reincarnation, can you still be fainted by chi? Qianyu violently beat Sarutobi Hiruzen for a long time before finally sealing him directly. Boom. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Qianyu was taken aback. Boom. With dozens of punches and hundreds of punches in a row, Sarutobi Hiruzen's entire body was completely shattered and exploded. Qianyu slapped him in the face again. Qianyu moved to the side of Sarutobi Hiruzen in an instant, and shot out with a punch. The speed is so fast that it does not give Sarutobi Hiruzen any chance to react. Chapter 104. Advertise here. Qianyu sealed Senju Tobarama and Sarutobi Hiruzen, and turned to face Senju Hashirama. He didn't say anything from beginning to end. There is no action either. It seems to be just observing. Qianyu said calmly. First Hokage, do you want to fight me too? Senju Hashirama smiled slightly. It's really interesting. Although I don't know what you are today, Konoha village, and the entire ninja world today, but... Okay, let's play a game first. Qianyu also smiled and said, very well, I am also looking forward to this battle. For a time, Senju Tobarama and Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but move in their hearts. If anyone can suppress Uchiha Qianyu, there is probably only this man. God of Ninja, Senju Hashirama. Many ninjas in Konoha village swallowed one after another. Senju Hashirama, first Hokage, the god of ninjas. And today's fourth Hokage, Uchiha Qianyu, who is invincible in the world. Both of them are the top figures in the entire ninja world. Myths are so common. Now, is it finally time to face and start a grand battle? There was a kind of excitement in everyone's heart, but with an extremely nervous state of mind. Qianyu said, "Come to fight." Good. Senju Hashirama was also unambiguous, and immediately put his hands together. Wood style. The tree world is born. Qianyu smiled slightly. Is it really this trick? Very good. Snapped. He also put his hands together, and turned out to perform the same move. Wood style. The tree world is born. Rumble, rumble. The earth where the two people stood, instantly began to collapse and disintegrate, turning upside down for a time, and shaking the mountains. Endless trees, vines, branches, and crazily surging out of the earth instantly. It turned into a dense and prosperous sea of ancient trees. Only for a moment. What was originally a desolate place has completely turned into a jungle. And the birth of the two-person tree boundary is certainly not for planting trees and protecting the environment. It's a hidden murder. Two huge tree jungles, like two living beasts, are entangled with each other. Hit, bite, roar. As if some ancient fierce beast was roaring, the users of the two wood-style mysteries broke out a terrifying chakra. The vines danced wildly, the branches hit, and the trees swallowed each other. This scene stunned everyone. So, is this something that ordinary ninjas can do? Miracle. Pong, pong, pong. The two of them soared up in an instant, and they had already jumped to the highest canopy. Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique Diaresis. First Hokage Senju Hashirama suddenly displayed his own ninjutsu. In an instant, the huge shuriken flew out crazy. In addition, hundreds of shuriken clones were quickly formed in the air. Bombarded towards Qianyu. Qianyu suddenly transformed Susanoo's arm, although only the arm was holding the Yata mirror. The collision sounded fiercely. Boom, boom. Resisted all the shuriken shadow clone, and then immediately launched a counterattack. Pudu Yuhun. The left eye instantly turned into Mangekyo Sharingan. A series of black terrifying thunder flames burst out in an instant. This is a terrifying move that can turn everything into coke nothingness. Even the body of impure world reincarnation will be eroded by continuous and eternal burning. Senju Hashirama has seen Qianyu perform this trick, and of course he knows the power. The corner of his mouth raised slightly. Snapped. Wood style. Wood expulsion jutsu. In an instant, wood style turned into a shield with grimace and fangs, protecting him in it. Those shields were immediately destroyed by the black thunder fire of Pudu Yuhun, but Senju Hashirama also avoided. The speed with which he performed the technique really made Qianyu amazed. The legendary first Hokage, put your hands together, what you want to say, is not empty talk. Qianyu was playing so happily that he couldn't help but smile. Good. First Hokage also played very happily, and suddenly his hands joined together again. Wood style. Wooden golem jutsu. Qianyu directly activated his Mangekyo Sharingan. Susanoo. A huge wooden golem suddenly rose from the sea of trees. On Qianyu's side, there is a huge Susanoo, holding a thunder gun. Boom. Qianyu suddenly stabs out with a fierce shot. Senju Hashirama immediately stood on top of wooden golem's head and stretched out his hand to grab it. The huge wooden golem also stretched out his arm fiercely, and instantly grabbed the thunder spear directly in his palm. Qianyu's heart moved. This is the first time someone dared to fight the thunder spear directly. The arm of wooden golem also started to be incinerated instantly. However, Senju Hashirama smiled slightly. Wooden golem's arm broke immediately, but it grew back soon. His terrifying chakra was originally like a tail beast. In addition, he can continue to use fairy magic, even if he is not the body of impure world reincarnation, his power is endless. Uchiha Madara once said that no one can kill Senju Hashirama on the battlefield. This is the truth. Wooden golem's arm grew again in an instant, and it turned out to be a fierce punch and a violent bombardment towards Susanoo. And Qianyu also thought about it, and Susanoo also punched out with a fierce punch. Boom. The strength of the two people suddenly collided. In an instant, the sea of trees under the feet of the two was suddenly torn apart by the explosion of air. The power of horror makes everyone amazed. Diaresis. Hey, except for Madara, this is the first time I can play so much fun. Senju Hashirama is also boiling over. Snapped. He snapped his hands together again. Wood style. Wood dragon technique. The wood style at his feet instantly transformed into a huge wooden dragon, entwining directly towards Susanoo. Rumble. Directly wrapped the entire huge body of Susanoo in the middle. Moreover, the wood dragon technique can also swallow the opponent's chakra. In an instant, Qianyu felt that Susanoo had begun to weaken a few points slowly, and chakra was pouring out frantically. As expected of first Hokage. Chakra really is leagues above me. Qianyu's heart moved instantly. Susanoo has evolved again. Fourth form. Complete body. The lower body appeared, a suit of armor. Plus Thunder Fruits Thor mode. Boom. In an instant, it was like a god descending to the earth. Thor is coming. Chi 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 chi. Thor, Susanoo, instantly filled his body with terrifying black thunder flames. The wooden dragon entwined on Susanoo was instantly covered by the black thunder and fire. Roar. The wooden dragon let out a scream, and his body was slowly being swallowed up, drowned, and burned by the thunder and fire. Senju Hashirama frowned slightly. Even the wood dragon technique has been destroyed. Amazing young man. Senju Hashirama's mouth raised slightly. Very well, since that's the case, then I will go all out. Sage Art. Wood Style. Shinsu Senju. Above the Buddha. And. Chapter 105. Advertise here. Senju Hashirama finally launched his own magic. He directly displayed his strongest assassin. Sage Art. Wood Style. Shinsu Senju. On top of the Buddha. Suddenly, a horrible Buddha, hundreds of meters high, suddenly rose. Came here between the heaven and the earth. What a huge and terrifying Senju Buddha. In front of him, Nine Tails seemed to be just a puppy. Full of terrifying vitality, and unparalleled sense of oppression. Even more terrifying than Qianyu's Shinsu Senju. For a time, many ninjas faced such legendary ninjas, characters that only exist in mythology, and this kind of ninja beyond the limits of ninja. All swallowed frantically, stunned and shocked. Then, is that the strength of Master First Hokage? This is too scary. It is beyond the cognitive limit. The power of the legendary gods. As expected to be the god of ninja. Too powerful. Many ninjas watched this scene and couldn't even think of anything. Even many ninjas were directly shocked that their weapons fell to the ground, and the whole person also collapsed on the ground. No wonder, in their eyes, Jonin is considered an absolute master. But now the shadows of all countries are all pinnacle masters. But these Jonin, shadows, in the eyes of first Hokage Senju Hashirama, have no meaning at all. He can single-handedly challenge the entire ninja world. Certainly, Uchiha Qianyu, who can compete with Senju Hashirama, is another myth. Qianyu's blood boiled instantly. Do you go straight to the big move? Very good. Snapped. He suddenly put his hands together. Thor, Susanoo, Sage Art, Wood Style, Shinsu Senju. On top of the Buddha, he covered the Thor Susanoo on Shinsu Senju. Formed an unprecedented horror move. His chakra may be 1 point less than Senju Hashirama. However, coupled with Thunder Fruit's ability and Susanoo's pupil power, it will only be better than him. Two people roared at the same time. What? Rumble. Rumble. Shinsu Senju on top of the Buddha. Countless wood-style arms bombarded like a violent storm. For a time, the earthquake trembled endlessly. The earth is shaking. The sky is falling apart. Two people's Shinsu Senju topped the Buddha and blasted crazy. In an instant, the sky is dim. Countless ninjas were shocked and terrified. Even during the Nine Tails Rebellion, there was absolutely no such horror. Nonsense. Nine Tails. How can this kind of thing compare with the two Hokage adults, first generation and fourth generation? Also, 2. Senju Hashirama can suppress Nine Tails at will. And Qianyu, who also showed his strength during the Nine Tails chaos, beat Nine Tails violently, and sealed it easily. What's more, the current Qianyu's strength is 1,000 times more terrifying than before. The two of Shinsu Senju, on top of the Buddha's confrontation, lasted for more than 10 minutes. This battle is the real world and the earth, howling ghosts. All the ninjas who witnessed this battle will describe this battle as the Battle of the Gods. The horrible sea of trees caused by the ninjutsu of two people also disappeared in an instant in this pair of bombs. And the whole earth, with the sound of terrifying explosions, huge pits appeared one after another. Senju Hashirama yelled in excitement. Good. Sage Art Wood Style Shinsu Senju, who was able to withstand me, topped the Buddha. Even if Madara is resurrected, it may not be able to do this. Uchiha Qianyu, you are indeed a good opponent. Qianyu smiled slightly. Each other. The two were polite, but their offensive continued. As if there is no end forever. Rumble, rumble. The earth quaked, the mountains and rivers burst, and the rivers stopped flowing. Senju Hashirama snapped his hands together again. Sage Art. Wood Style. Myojin Gate. Boom, boom. Above the sky, a series of terrifying red torii gates suddenly fell down. Towards Qianyu's Suzuo giant Buddha, he suppressed fiercely. Qianyu smiled slightly. A huge black thunder spear suddenly appeared in both hands of Big Buddha Susao. Boom. Just a stab. Shoot out. Wow. In an instant, the red torii gates broke apart in an instant. Moreover, the terrifying black thunder and fire quickly turned the red torii into coke. Extinct. Can't the Myojin gate be suppressed? Interesting. Senju Hashirama smiled quietly and stood facing Qianyu. The two-person Sage Art Wood Style Shinsu Senju, on top of the Buddha, finally reached the finale. And the entire forest has been completely destroyed and turned into ruins. The earth has turned into a valley. A huge abyss appeared on the originally flat land. The two stood on top of the shattered Shinsu Senju. Shinsu Senju of Senju Hashirama, his arm is broken and there is not much left, and the entire Buddha is also badly damaged. And Qianyu's Suzuo Buddha, Suzuo was also destroyed 7 or 88, and the big Buddha was also damaged by more than half. However, when the two people looked at each other, they felt a sense of sympathy. This is the battle between the strongest. Senju Hashirama smiled and said, what a hearty battle. Uchiha Qianyu, are there any other moves? Qianyu smiled slightly. Very good, then, please first generation take this trick from me. There has never been a move that has been performed on people. Oh, come. Qianyu smiled slightly, ready to explode his final blow. It is indeed a move he has never used before. It's a long-range attack that he recently developed by himself. The strongest long-range offensive combined with Mangekyo Sharingan. Yasaka Chong-Guyu, Thunder Fruit's strongest move. Lei Ying, coupled with Pudu Yuhun, the terrifying power of the Black Thunder and Fire. And the horrible chakra from the first-generation Sage Body template, the natural energy of Sage Mode. The power even surpasses Tailed Beast Bomb. All, gathered in this blow. Jade of Extinction Road, with the power to destroy the world. Bombarded. Boom. Then, coupled with the Black Thunder and Fire of the Budu Yuhun, it makes its power even more terrifying. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. And Qianyu's ambition is to finally surpass the truth-seeking ball in the Six Paths magic. Boom to Senju Hashirama. Lei Ying, it was a huge black ball lightning. It is the ultimate meaning of Thunder Fruit. Then, it combines the power of Susanoo Yasaka Kiyomizu. It can be said that all of one's own power is gathered in this trick. Qianyu condensed it and reduced it to the size of a tailed beast bomb. It originally had the power of breaking through the mountains and breaking the ground. Qianyu's Dao Destruction Jade burst out in an instant. Coupled with the amount of chakra that is terrifying to the ultimate, and the almost endless natural energy of Sage Mode. Qianyu named it, Chapter 106. Advertise here. Senju Hashirama suddenly felt an unprecedented sense of crisis. This kind of crisis, even when facing Uchiha Madara, has never happened before. What a terrifying move. This blow, I'm afraid it will be difficult to deal with even in the heyday of my lifetime. Senju Hashirama smiled slightly, although in awe, but did not hesitate. He snapped his hands together. Snapped. 5 Rashomon. In an instant, Senju Hashirama displayed his most powerful defensive skill. 5 Rashomon. Boom 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 boom. The 5 layers of hell, representing life and death, were instantly exposed by summoning, and turned into a huge portal with 5 paths to the sky and the earth. Enough to defend everything, and just as the 5-layer ration gate came, Qianyu's Dao-killing Jade also arrived at the same time. Boom. A bang. The 5-fold Rashomon instantly flies into ashes and annihilates. The sky is falling apart. However, Xie Daoyu has also been slightly changed its trajectory and direction. Unable to completely hit Senju Hashirama, but still rubbing his body, bursting away. Boom. With a sound, half of Senju Hashirama's body, together with the 5-fold Rashomon, turned into ashes and annihilation. Senju Hashirama couldn't help being taken aback. So powerful. This blow. I'm afraid it's even stronger than Madara's trick Susanoo Tailed Beast Bomb. At the time of the Battle of the Valley of the End, Uchiha Madara once incorporated Susanoo's Chakra Tachi into the 9 Tails Tailed Beast Bomb, making the power of the Tailed Beast Bomb soar. At that time, Senju Hashirama also used the 5-fold Rashomon to shift the direction. But now, although Qianyu's attack was also deflected by his 5-fold Rashomon, he finally hit him. If it weren't for the body of Impure World Reincarnation, I'm afraid I would have been seriously injured, or even dying. The Jade of Extinguishing Path brushed over Senju Hashirama's body and continued to slam forward. I didn't know that it flew several kilometers away and slammed into a big mountain. Rumble, rumble, half of the mountain collapsed. The rocks are rolling and falling one after another, the whole mountain is changed, the sky is broken and the earth is cracked, and everything is trampled on. Senju Hashirama glanced back, turning around and looking at Qianyu again, he smiled slightly. What a powerful move. I lost. Senju Hashirama frankly admitted his failure. Qianyu smiled slightly and shook his head. It can only be regarded as a tie, since you have not lost. Senju Hashirama smiled and said, I am the body of Impure World Reincarnation, of course I will not die. Even if you were alive, this blow may not kill you. Qianyu knew all about Senju Hashirama's abilities. His regenerative ability, recovery ability and the horror of vitality are beyond the reach of the fairy in the legend. Even in his lifetime, even if this blow hits Senju Hashirama, it may not really kill him. What's more, no matter how high the accuracy of Impure World Reincarnation is, it is not as good as 100% of its strength during his lifetime. There is no doubt about this. Qianyu has always believed that Impure World Reincarnation is the least improvement technique for Senju Hashirama's status. Because his biggest advantage is that the amount of chakra is almost infinite, and the vitality is almost infinite. And these, after Impure World Reincarnation, other ninjas will also have it. Many people, their strength skyrocketed after Impure World Reincarnation. For example, Uchiha Itachi solved the problem of insufficient blue and blood shortage during his lifetime. Susanoo opened it casually, and Tsukuyomi Amaterasu put it casually. It was impossible during his lifetime. For example, Nagato's illness during his lifetime prevented him from exerting his full strength at all, but after Impure World Reincarnation he arbitrarily expanded his moves. Of course, impure world reincarnation also has drawbacks, such as insufficient mobility and so on. But in general, for most ninjas, infinite blue, infinite blood, immortality and immortality, it is simply a skyrocketing strength. But these, for Senju Hashirama, it was like this during his lifetime. Therefore, Qianyu also admires Senju Hashirama's strength very much. After this battle, the two cherished each other. Qianyu smiled slightly. Even if it's a tie, first generation. Senju Hashirama laughed loudly. Okay. Next, what are your plans? Qianyu thought for a while. Are you hungry? Senju Hashirama was killed, but Qianyu would ask such a sentence. It seems, it doesn't feel much. The state of impure world reincarnation is dead, so how come you feel hungry? Qianyu smiled and said, then, can you eat? Senju Hashirama thought for a while. Should it be okay? Okay, I invite you to have ramen. Quote. The boss of Yale Ramen played by hand, and may never forget that scene. First Hokage Senju Hashirama, who only exists in the legend, and fourth Hokage Uchiha Qianyu, who is most beloved by the entire Konoha village today, went into his ramen shop at the same time. His young daughter Chenku was also taken aback, and even the helping hand trembled slightly. Find flowers. Fire. Lord Hokage. No, it's not right. It should be, 2 Hokage adults. Qianyu smiled slightly. Boss, 2 bowls of ramen. Good. Good. Senju Hashirama looked around and smiled heartily. What a nice little shop. However, it seems I haven't seen it. The owner of Yale chuckled, although I have been in business for a long time, it hasn't been as long as Master First Hokage was alive. Really? Ha 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 ha. First Hokage laughed loudly. It looks approachable, even a bit dull. It's not like the legendary ninja god at all. However, the owner of Yale quickly got used to it. Yo, 2 bowls of ramen, please enjoy it slowly. 0. Qianyu smiled. Ah, Yale's ramen is the most delicious. My wife and daughter, I often come here to eat ramen in our free time, especially Naruto, who likes the ramen here the most. Really? Then I have to try it. Senju Hashirama tasted 2 mouthfuls, then suddenly froze. Then the whole person fell into depression. What's wrong, Master First Hokage, isn't it delicious? Senju Hashirama said in depression. No, the body of impure world reincarnation doesn't seem to taste anything. Yale boss and Qianyu. Qianyu sighed, then smiled. Then there is no way, I can only say that you have no good luck. Hey, what a pity. However, even if it were, I would eat it up. Senju Hashirama took a bite to eat. The boss of Yale laughed. What a nice guy. Moreover, I can advertise in the future, ramen that first Hokage and fourth Hokage love to eat. I don't know how good the effect is. Senju Hashirama was eating and chatting with Uncle Yale. However, he didn't ask any major questions, just casually chatting. Uncle Yale also chatted with him heartily, and the two of them were able to talk very well, laughing constantly. Senju Hashirama suddenly understood what Qianyu meant by bringing him to eat. Isn't this the kind of good life he wants? This. Isn't it the meaning of peace? In that case, what can I not worry about? Then, at this moment, Senju Hashirama made a decision. Scholar. Chapter 107. Advertise here. Senju Hashirama finished the ramen and wandered in Konoha village with Qianyu. He looked at the Konoha village now. The Hokage Yanyan has now been carved to the 4th generation. Although Qianyu hated Sarutobi Hiruzen deeply, he did not stop or destroy the stone statue of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Senju Hashirama also feels the happiness, peace and beauty in the village. All families live in harmony. Every child is happy and happy. The ninjas unite Ishin and work hard to protect their relatives and village. All departments also work together to guard the whole beautiful life under Qianyu's leadership. Isn't this what I originally intended to create Konoha village? Qianyu took Senju Hashirama to the ninja school. Met with the children who were in class there. This also includes his daughter, Uchiha Naruto. Senju Hashirama is very emotional. He finally believed that Uchiha Qianyu was a qualified and perfect successor to Hokage. Before, whether it was his younger brother Senju Tobirama or his disciple Sarutobi Hiruzen, the prejudice against Qianyu and the Uchiha clan was obviously wrong. Even when the two of them were in power, Konoha village was not as peaceful as it is now. Senju Hashirama has finished wandering around. The two came to Hokage Rock and looked at the entire Konoha village. Uchiha Qianyu. I understand your thoughts now. Oh, Qianyu smiled and looked at Senju Hashirama. Senju Hashirama said, I thought it was too ideal before. Ishin wanted to use his own power to create peace in the world. But this is just a delusion. On the contrary, your idea is right. Make yourself strong, you can protect yourself from being bullied. Make your family and clan strong, you can avoid being bullied by other families. Make the whole village strong, you can protect the peace and stability of the whole village. Today's Konoha, unprecedented prosperity, peace, happiness, and beauty. This is the best ending. It is a naive delusion to forcefully pursue world peace. You, do better than me. Senju Hashirama smiled and said, so, I don't worry, Konoha village is in your hands, it will definitely get better and better. Well, I believe this too. Senju Hashirama laughed. What a confident young man. Since this is the case, then I will leave without worry. Huh, are you leaving now? Well, there is nothing to miss. There may be many wars in this ninja world in the future, and Konoha village will not be spared. However, with you, I believe you can handle it. I don't need me to send out. Quote. So, goodbye. I took Tobarama and the monkey with me. Good. Qianyu gave an order, and the sealed bodies of the two people were sent to them. Senju Hashirama broke the seal for the two of them, and Senju Tobarama and Sarutobi Hiruzen were furious, and they wanted to attack Qianyu again. However, okay, Tobarama, monkey. Senju Hashirama is harsher than ever. The prejudice between you two can stop. Qianyu, this guy is doing better than the three of us. The peace and stability of Konoha village today, do you want to break it? That's the biggest sinner in Konoha village. Brother, you. Teacher. Senju Hashirama said solemnly, so, it's time for us to leave. What's more, even I was defeated by him, and you can't be his opponent. Senju Tobarama and Sarutobi Hiruzen's faces changed. But helpless, can only admit. Qianyu, I left without worry. Konoha village, and the entire shinobi world, will be handed over to you, and you young people. Qianyu smiled slightly. Don't worry, but, your current impure world reincarnation body, can you free yourself? Senju Hashirama laughed loudly. Don't worry. He suddenly made a seal, and immediately, his soul was freed from his body and began to soar towards the sky. Tobarama, monkey, yes, sir, is teacher. Both of them also formed seals at the same time, causing their souls to begin to soar and drift away. Soon, the three of them gradually disappeared under the gaze of Qianyu and many Konoha village ninjas. Their souls have returned to the underworld again. And those bodies also returned to their original appearances. It was because of the rebellious ninja who didn't know which ninja village had died now. At the same time, a long distance away, Orochimaru's heart moved. Actually, all three of them broke free from the shackles of impure world reincarnation, have their souls ascended to heaven. Orochimaru sneered. It can only be blamed for not being able to control them this time, otherwise it will never be Qianyu's opponent if the strength declines. But it can't be controlled, their willpower is too strong, it is impossible to follow my command. All three of them maintained a sober will, and after forcibly breaking free from the shackles of impure world reincarnation, their souls chose to ascend to heaven on their own. It seems. The plan to fight Uchiha Qianyu through first Hokage has failed again. But it doesn't matter, these things, just let Pain worry about. Orochimaru notified Pain. Pain immediately activated the slide body technique. By receiving the thoughts wave from the members of Akatsuki's organization and converted with chakra. Pain amplifies these waves of thoughts and then manifests them in the form of illusions. And these illusions will show colorful bright lines. The Akatsuki organization originally had 10 members, but now only 6 are left. Pain, Konan, Absolute, Orochimaru, Hoshigaki Kisame, Mysterious Masked Man. Orochimaru said, the three of Senju Hashirama failed. They have lifted the shackles of impure world reincarnation technique on their own, and their souls have ascended to heaven. Pain was silent for a long time. Does this trick also fail? Then, there is only one way. Catch all the tail beasts as soon as possible and complete the tail beast weapons. Orochimaru gave a dark smile. Boss, there seems to be a contradiction in your sentence. To fight Uchiha Qianyu, you need to gather the 9 big-tailed beasts and complete the tailed beast weapon. However, 9 tails, the most important and powerful among the tail beasts, is sealed on his wife and daughter. If he doesn't defeat him, how can he be captured and gathered together 9 big-tail beasts? Pain said. Indeed, 9 tails is well protected by Uchiha Qianyu, and it may be difficult for us to catch it. However, part of 9 tails still exists somewhere. Orochimaru's heart moved. He was originally a living dictionary, knowledgeable and omniscient. You mean, the Land of Thunder, the Golden and Silver Horn brothers of 2.7 Cloud Shinobi Village. Yes, bring the Golden Horn and Silver Horn brothers back to life with impure world reincarnation. They already have the blood of Sage of 6 Paths. Moreover, they have been swallowed by 9 tails but survived, instead they have eaten the flesh and blood of 9 tails. So, they already have 9 tails chakra in their bodies. It can also be used as a substitute for 9 tails. In this way, as long as the other 8-tailed beasts are captured, plus the 9 tails chakra of the Gold and Silver brothers, although the tail beast weapon is not a complete body, it is enough to have the power to destroy the world. 5 tails, 6 tails, 7 tails, you are responsible for capturing. Conan and I will personally go to the Land of Thunder to capture the 8 tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee. After that, Orochimaru used impure world reincarnation summoning to get the Golden Horn and Silver Horn brothers and subdue them. Everything, you're done. Everyone's heart shuddered, knowing that the final battle is not far away. Only the eyes of the mysterious masked man flashed a cold light. Chapter 108. Advertise here. Although there are only 6 members left in the Akatsuki organization. However, they are all pregnant with ghosts. One of the biggest differences, of course, is Pain, which is the conflict between Nagato and the mysterious masked man. For Pain, His goal is to collect 9 big-tailed beasts, and then create a tailed beast weapon to threaten the big ninja villages and realize the peace in his mind. But for the mysterious masked man, Obito, the real purpose of collecting the tail beast. But it is going to resurrect 10 tails. Become 10 tails Jinchuriki, and finally activate the legendary forbidden technique. Infinite Tsukuyomi. That is, the so-called Project Tsuki no Mi. So, at least in the matter of collecting tail beasts, the two people have the same purpose. But, Uchiha Obito actually didn't want to collect all the 9 big-tailed beasts so quickly. Because that was not my plan. It's Uchiha Madara's plan. Uchiha Madara's plan and Obito's plan, although the final destination is the same, there is one biggest difference. That is, who will become 10 tails Jinchuriki, who will be the last to launch Infinite Tsukuyomi. In Madara's eyes, of course it was herself. But in Obito's eyes, he must be oneself too. So although two people seem to be using each other, they will eventually break. Because of this, Obito is also following Madara's trilogy of winning over Nagato, collecting tail beasts, and resurrecting himself. However, he wanted to delay the time to collect the tail beasts. Because after the tail beasts are collected, Madara will be resurrected as agreed. But Obito was not ready. His purpose is, delay the progress of the tail beast collection so that your strength can at least compete with Madara. Otherwise, with his and Nagato's power, I'm afraid it will only be faster to collect the tail beasts. Why do you need to create any Akatsuki organization? Of course, Obito can also not resurrect Madara. However, Madara was watching by his side. Of course it is Black Zetsu. This Madara thought she was an individual of her own volition, saying she was helping, but in fact she was monitoring Obito's progress. Obito also couldn't confirm whether Madara had a backhand. If he breaks with him clearly now, it may lead to his own death. So, his strategy is to procrastinate secretly. However, now Nagato has done it himself, except for 9 tails, no other tail beasts in Jinchuriki can resist his power. And 9 tails chakra can also be replaced by the Golden Horn and Silver Horn brothers. Collecting Chiwei beasts is already unstoppable and approaching the end. So, Obito also had to make a decision. He wants prevent pain from quickly catching all the tail beasts. Now, according to the rumors, one of the 3 secret realms of the inheritance of Shanshu. Myoki Yamanaka, a white-haired man walked into the deepest temple. He wants to see Toad Sage again. To find the answer in your heart. This person is of course Jiraiya, one of Sannin. Accompanying him is the elder Shensuo of Mount Myoboku. Little Jiraiya, why are you so anxious to see Toad Sage? Did you find the son of prophecy you were looking for before? Jiraiya shook his head. It's the opposite. I can't find it anyway. On the contrary, there are many more variables. Now I don't know where to go, so I have to find Toad Sage to help me solve it. Well, that's fine, the big Toad Sage's prediction can't be wrong. The two came to the temple deep in the mountains. Finally met the big Toad Sage. This horrible existence has survived from the age of Sage of 6 Paths to today, with a lifespan of more than 1,000 years. The big Toad Sage closed his eyes and whispered, "Is it Jiraiya Jiraiya?" Jiraiya bowed respectfully. "Yes, Fairy. I can feel the confusion in your heart." "Yes, Toad Sage, I have traveled all over the past few years, almost every corner of the entire ninja world, but the son of prophecy has not been found, but I am becoming more and more confused." Toad Sage was silent for a moment. "That's a matter of course. Because my prediction has failed." Jiraiya and Shensaku were surprised at once. "Big Toad Sage, what are you talking about? Especially the deep work, it was shocking. You know, Toad Sage's prediction is extremely accurate, and it will never fail." Toad Sage sighed. "Everything must start with a man. His name is called Uchiha Qianyu." Jiraiya was shocked. "It's him. Good." Shenzuo raised his head and asked, "Who is it?" Jiraiya said, "This is the 4th Hokage in Konoha village today. At the same time, he was also the one who killed my teacher Sarutobi Hiruzen and my disciple Namikaze Minato." Deeply silent, Toad Sage said, "This is the man. His appearance disrupted all cause and effect, causing my prediction to be completely disordered." Jiraiya hurriedly said, "So, does the son of prophecy still exist?" Toad Sage said something difficult to understand. "Isn't it the cause and effect itself that disrupts cause and effect?" Jiraiya suddenly realized something. "Big Toad Sage, you mean that man may become the key to solving everything?" "Jiraiya, if you want to solve the confusion in your heart, why not find him directly?" Jiraiya was silent for a long time. Toad Sage sighed. "You don't know how to face that man, don't you? He killed your teacher and your disciple. He should be your big enemy. But you don't think in your heart that he has done something wrong, and you can't give birth to revenge and hatred. So I don't know what kind of posture to face him. Is not it?" Jiraiya sighed. "Big Toad Sage really knows everything. Yes, I am very conflicted. I deplore the deaths of the teacher and Minato, but..." Shenzuo and Toad Sage finally raised his head and looked in the direction of Konoha village. He suddenly smiled heartily. Toad Sage smiled slightly. "Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Little Jiraiya, Konoha village, it's really been a long time since I went back. If this is the case, why not face your own heart? I really miss it. Go, find that man, and then you just need to follow your own heart. Jiraiya's face suddenly changed, and he smirked. I wonder if the girls there are more watery. Okay, I see, Toad Sage. The man Uchiha Qianyu did nothing wrong. Jiraiya was silent for a long time. Shen Zuo also smiled slightly. So, Jiraiya, you are a person who understands others. He just resisted. On the contrary, the teacher's attitude towards the Uchiha clan is extreme. It is the cause of all these evils. If I stand in Qianyu's position, I am afraid I can only perform the same actions as him. Chapter 109. Advertise here. Jiraiya intends to return to Konoha and face Hokage Uchiha Qianyu now. However, on the way, he was planning to find another person. Tsunade. This violent female ninja, also known as one of Sannin, doesn't know what happened now. Jiraiya has actually been watching. Whether it is Tsunade or even Orochimaru who has defected. He knew that Orochimaru had joined a very dangerous and terrorist organization. I also know that Tsunade still takes Shizune to travel around the world without asking the world. Only Ishin insisted. Bet. However, along the way, she still didn't find out where she was. In desperation, Jiraiya had to return to the village alone for the time being. The border of Konoha village. The Japanese ninja guarding the village immediately stopped the people. However, when he saw his real body, everyone was shocked. From the new novel group 712,205,071. 111111. This group updates daily novels. From the new novel group 712205071. Since, Lord Jiraiya. Jiraiya smiled slightly. Ah, Konoha village, I am finally back. All the ninjas were overjoyed. Jiraiya, one of Sannin. The prestige in Konoha village is so high that it can be said to be in full swing. Today's Konoha village is already prosperous, and the return of Lord Jiraiya is really even more powerful. But, some ninjas suddenly moved in their hearts. Hokage-sama Uchiha Qianyu, but killed the previous generation Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and Namikaze Minato. These two, one is Master Jiraiya's teacher and the other is his disciple. Speaking of it, Jiraiya and Hokage-sama have a deep hatred. At this time, when I come back, maybe I want to. For a time, everyone's faces became gloomy again. Of course Jiraiya knows what they are thinking. He laughed and said, don't worry, I am not here to avenge Master Hokage, nor will I fight with him. This is my guarantee. Many ninjas breathed a sigh of relief. If Jiraiya-sama, one of Sannin, said so, he would definitely not break his promise. Great, Lord Jiraiya, this return has made our Konoha village even stronger. It's so powerful. Jiraiya smiled slightly, waved to everyone, and strode into Konoha village. He looked around, wandering around in the village. Although things are not human, but I felt the unprecedented tranquility and peace. When Jiraiya was in the village, it was the era of the Second Ninja War. Konoha village back then, it's definitely not peaceful. Not to mention him, Orochimaru and Tsunade, even children like Tsunade's brother Naoki, have to go to the battlefield. Moreover, he died directly in the first war. The same is true for Tsunade's lover. One can imagine the cruelty of the war. It's a world away from now. Jiraiya smiled slightly. It seems that Mr. Hokage is very good at managing Konoha village. Diaresis. He had clearly sensed Qianyu's appearance. Qianyu also smiled. Thanks for the compliment. Jiraiya turned her head and saw the young man. He couldn't help but exclaim. Really young. You should be about the same age as Minato, right? Qianyu nodded. I and Kushina graduated from ninja studies in the same year. Jiraiya smiled and said, young and promising. It's really awesome. Qianyu naturally walked with him and wandered around Konoha village with him. Jiraiya smiled. I heard that first Hokage-sama was released by Orochimaru in Pure World Reincarnation. After a battle with you, he also wandered around the village like this, and then. Just trust the village to you, and your soul has ascended to heaven. Qianyu said. There is such a thing. It seems that even the first generation project has recognized your ability and will. Qianyu said. I do things according to my heart, and I do everything for the good of the village. Of course, first generation will recognize it. Jiraiya's heart moved. Be compliant. Well said. Qianyu glanced at him, and Jiraiya was looking up at Hokage Yan Yan. His eyes fell on third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen involuntarily. Qianyu's heart moved. You are coming back this time, aren't you looking for revenge on me? Jiraiya glanced at him. Ha 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 ha, I can't say that I didn't have this idea at all. That's too inhuman, right? Qianyu smiled and said, yes. Then, have a fight. Jiraiya smiled. Okay, although, I know it's not your opponent, but I will go all out to fight this one. Qianyu said. That. Come. The news that Qianyu and Jiraiya were about to fight instantly spread throughout Konoha village. For a time, many ninjas and civilians came to watch. Both are well loved, and everyone doesn't like the two being injured. But, this level of battle, but no one wants to miss it. The Japanese ninja looked at Jiraiya with a face full of disbelief. Master Jiraiya, didn't you say you wouldn't fight Master Hokage? We trust you to let you in. Jiraiya laughed and said, sorry, but Master Hokage invited me to fight this time. It's not that I broke my promise. Ha 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 ha. Japanese ninja. Qianyu smiled and said, it's okay, the two of us are just discussing each other, don't worry. Diaresis. Yes, Master Hokage. Everyone immediately said in awe. Jiraiya glanced at these ninjas and nodded silently. It seems that everyone is truly convinced by Qianyu as Hokage. Very good, then, let's start. Good. Jiraiya was confident and smiled. My hands snapped together. Snapped. Fire style. Great flame ball technique. Boom. Jiraiya's fire style is to train chakra into oil. Chakra full of oil, burning fiercely through fire style. How powerful is more powerful than ordinary fire style bullets? Qianyu smiled slightly. Good. Snapped. Fire style. How long fire technique? Qianyu versus fire style with fire style. With his unparalleled powerful chakra volume, Jiraiya's fire style was instantly suppressed. Jiraiya looked at the terrifying flames rushing towards his face, but he smiled, and immediately jumped into the air and flew up. Chaotic lion hair technique. Boom, boom, boom. Jiraiya's long white hair instantly turned into a match, tangling towards Qianyu fiercely. He used this trick to kill countless summoning beasts of pain, of Lees. But in Qianyu's eyes, it was still not fast enough. Cut. In his hand, a black sword of thunder appeared, and with a single stroke, all the horror and messy hair was cut off. Moreover, the black thunder flame spread along the chaotic hair and invaded towards Jiraiya's body. Jiraiya smiled slightly, and the messy hair broke immediately. Earth style. Yellow spring marsh. Qianyu immediately realized that the ground under his feet had started to melt instantly. It seems to be the quicksand and quagmire that can swallow everything. Jiraiya's trick once completely restrained Orochimaru's strongest summoning beast, Wan Shou. Qianyu's heart moved, and a red light flashed in his right eye, which had already moved away. Mangekyo Sharingan's ability. Space-time ninjutsu, you can move instantaneously. It won't be easy now. Qianyu also smiled slightly. He knew that a ninja like Jiraiya would think of a way to deal with any enemy he encountered. Only, what will he do this time? And, Chapter 110. Advertise here. Qianyu instantly activated Mangekyo Sharingan's right eye pupil power. Gao Tianyuan. In an instant, there is no way to perceive or penetrate. He has come behind Jiraiya. Blast out with one punch. At this time, Jiraiya smiled slightly. Snapped. Ninjutsu. Needle Jizo. Boom. Jiraiya's white hair suddenly hardened and enveloped her whole body like a shell. Qianyu bombarded him with a punch, and was shocked to fight back. Fortunately, his fist covered Armament Haki, otherwise his fist would be pierced. Qianyu moved in his heart and immediately moved away. Jiraiya was able to defend against his own attack, but it was excusable. But, how did he predict his position? Qianyu's heart moved. Suddenly the eyes lit up. It's an enchantment. Sky cover magic array. Jiraiya laughed. Sure enough, I can't hide anything from you, Master Hokage. Qianyu suddenly realized. Jiraiya's sky cover array is centered on the caster and unfolds a spherical perceptual barrier. In the enchantment, the perception ability is greatly improved, and all the movements in the space will be fully noticed. In the original work, Jiraiya once used this technique to catch Pen, who was invisible among the summoning beasts. Now, in order to deal with Qianyu's space-time ninjutsu Gao Tianyuan, he also used this technique. The moment Qianyu teleported into the space, he was immediately alert and launched a ninjutsu defense. Qianyu smiled slightly. As expected of Jiraiya, there are countermeasures. Jiraiya's absolute strength may not be too high. Of course, what is said here is too high, compared to the fights of the gods in the later period. In the era when Pen is the absolute ceiling of combat power, Jiraiya is also the absolute first gear, second only to Pen. The best part of Jiraiya. It's comprehensive. Various ninjutsu masters are very accurate and comprehensive. And has a wealth of combat experience, has a vicious vision, and can deal with it freely. Ninjutsu. Physical surgery. Even the illusion that is the least good at is supplemented by the two-toed sages from summoning. Coupled with sage mode, the various powers of ninjutsu physique have been greatly improved. It can be said that there are no flaws, no shortcomings. This kind of man is probably the most feared by the enemy. In the setting, the 8 values of the ninja, except for the illusion 6, Jiraiya all have 9 points or 10 points. And illusion, if you add two-toed sage, you can also make up for it. Compared with Guy, this kind of physical skill breaks through the sky, but it is inadequate in other aspects. Or Itachi can break through the sky, but the energy is insufficient for professionals. Jiraiya is an absolute all-rounder. The most orthodox ninja. The two started a fierce battle in an instant. Fist to the flesh. Physical attack. Shadow clone technique. Qianyu punched a shadow clone and Jiraiya had already launched Rasengan from another direction. Rasengan. Qianyu smiled slightly, and the force of thunder in his hand also collided away. Boom. The collision of the two moves caused a fierce roar. On the earth, huge ravines appeared. The two each retreated more than 10 meters away. Jiraiya laughed. He waved his hand and said, if you don't fight, you won't fight. To deal with a man like you, I'm afraid you have to activate Sage Mode if you want to continue. I have to trouble those two guys, I don't want to be nagging in my ears. Qianyu knew that Jiraiya was talking about Toad Shensaku and Shima. Neither of them did their best, and it was just a symbolic fight. Jiraiya waved his hand and smiled at everyone, it's gone. There is nothing good to watch. Many ninjas were relieved. Since Lord Jiraiya and Lord Hokage didn't really fight, that's great. Jiraiya's return to the village is a great thing for Konoha village. Fighting power skyrocketed again. Jiraiya and Qianyu wandered on the road and soon came to Hokage Yanyan. Jiraiya looked at the whole village and smiled. The current Konoha village is really peaceful. Qianyu also smiled and said, calmness is the best, isn't it? Good. Isn't it our responsibility to be able to guard this peace? Jiraiya's heart moved slightly. He knew what Qianyu meant. After a long time, he nodded and said, okay. I am also a ninja in Konoha village after all. From now on, I will report any news to Master Hokage. Qianyu smiled. That's great. The two looked into the distance against the breeze. Then, what are your plans next? Jiraiya laughed. I'm going to find another master for Master Hokage. Is Tsunade right? Qianyu smiled and said, are you for me or yourself? Jiraiya smiled. It doesn't matter anymore. It's just that I don't know what her attitude is. You also know that since that guy left Konoha that year, he vowed that he didn't want to ask about Konoha anymore. Qianyu said, with you, she will definitely change her mind. Jiraiya was silent for a moment. I hope so. The two chatted for a long time. The next day, Jiraiya planned to leave the village to find Tsunade. Qianyu sent him to the entrance of the village. Whether you can find Tsunade or not, you must be careful yourself. Jiraiya smiled and said, I know. There are not many people who can defeat my Jiraiya except Hokage-sama. Qianyu smiled and said, that's how it is said. But. A shadow appeared on his face. I don't know, should I tell him about pain? After thinking about it, he decided to remind him. Jiraiya, is there anything to explain, Master Hokage? Qianyu said. I have also accepted disciples. Jiraiya smiled bitterly and said, yes, but my life is not good. All the disciples accepted are dead. Qianyu knew that this also included Namikaze Minato. But he didn't want to mention this at this time. I'm afraid not necessarily. Jiraiya frowned. Master Hokage, what do you mean? Qianyu said. You travel around the world, but I know that you are also providing information for Konoha village. Then of course you know the organization named Akatsuki. Jiraiya nodded and said, I know. The leader of Akatsuki's organization is named Pain. Good. Qianyu reminded. Pain owns Rinnegan. Jiraiya's face changed suddenly. Rinnegan. You mean? Of course Jiraiya knows the horror of Rinnegan. But, that is only owned by Nagato, the fairy eye of Sage of Six Paths. Pen. How come? Jiraiya was shocked. Difficult. Does Master Hokage mean that Pain is? Qianyu nodded heavily. He couldn't help but grieve for Jiraiya. Jiraiya, this man. The teacher is dead, and the disciple is dead. The woman she loves doesn't love herself. My friends and companions also betrayed the village and embarked on the path of being hostile to them. The remaining 3 disciples also heard that they died in the war. But now, upon hearing Qianyu's words, maybe they are still alive, but still embarked on the most extreme path. Jiraiya's heart was ups and downs for a while. Qianyu said, I will solve this personally. Your task is to find Tsunade and bring her back to Konoha village. Jiraiya nodded. He smiled and said, I see. Waved his hand. This man once again embarked on a wandering journey. Qianyu looked at his back, couldn't help sighing, and shook his head. Chapter 111. Advertise here. A few days later, Qianyu received a request for help from Takian village. Takigakura is the only one outside of the 5 major countries that has the existence of the tailed beast Jinchuriki. 7 Tails. Flying giant Chome. 7 Tails Jinchuriki, named Fu, is a female ninja from Takigakura village. It's a pity that now it was captured alive by Akatsuki. The most powerful in Takigakura is 7 Tails Jinchuriki, which is now captured alive and cannot resist. Can only ask for help immediately from the country of fire. Today's Qianyu, although in name only the Hokage of Konoha village, land of fire. However, in essence, it is basically equivalent to the master of the entire ninja. Not only the Takiguru village, but the other water country, wind country, earth country, thunder country, each had a tailed beast or Jinchuriki was captured, and they had reported to Qianyu and asked for help. Then, Qianyu immediately decided to hold another 5 Shadows conference in Takigakura. Discuss together and fight against Akatsuki. Qianyu gave an order, and the other countries naturally responded immediately. The leader of Takigakura is named Shibumu, and he is a very decent young man. But Takigakura is not a 5-powered country, so the title of Shadow cannot be used. Under his auspices, the shadows of the 5 great nations and many elite Jonin have arrived one after another. The country of fire is naturally led by Qianyu, and the 2 so-called guards he brought with him are exactly Hatake Kakashi and Might Guy. These 2 men are now becoming stronger and stronger, and their reputations have gradually spread throughout the ninja world. As for the land of the earth, it is naturally the old fox Onoki. And he followed his son Huang Tu and his granddaughter Hei Tu. Thunder Country, because 4th Raikage was killed by Qianyu, there is still no new Raikage selected. Acting in charge is a young man named Darui. On both sides of him, it is 8 Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee, and an elite Jonin named Shi. The country of water. Today, it is Terumi Mei who is temporarily taking the place of Mizukage. And beside him, there is a young man named Chojuro, and an elderly elite Jonin. Since 4th Mizukage's death, Water Country has treated Qianyu very ambiguously. On the one hand, he killed 4th Mizukage, which is naturally hateful. But on the other hand, it was he who broke the fact that 4th Mizukage was manipulated by magic. At this point, it is also over the blood mist shrouded in Kurigakure. Kurigakure, freed from years of horror and blood. Therefore, they are all secretly grateful to Qianyu. The mood is very complicated. And the last kingdom of the wind is headed by Gaara, who is now less than 10 years old. Although he is very young now, he is the son of 4th Kazekage after all, and he is justified. And beside him, besides Baki, there are 2 people Conqueror and Tamari. Wait until everyone is there. Qianyu sat in the middle, frowning slightly and said, today's 5 Shadows conference is for discussing against Shao organization. If you want to come, all the major ninja villages have learned a lot, and many of them even suffered heavy losses. Fighting against Akatsuki has become the top priority of the entire ninja world. Shibuki, the leader of the Takigakura village, sighed. Yes, our 7 Tails Jinchuriki Fu from Takian village has been taken away. With our strength, we can't fight the Akatsuki organization at all. Lord Hokage and everyone help. The land of wind, Sunagaku. Gaara spoke. Although he is only 10 years old, he seems to have gone through many vicissitudes. After all, few people have a childhood like his. The mother died, was hostile by the father, and was made into Jinchuriki, a container for the tailed beast. Suffer everyone's fear, rejection and betrayal. He was directly taken away, stripped of the tail beast chakra, and died once. After resurrecting from the dead, he lost the tail beast in his body, which changed the attitude of the people around him a lot. Gaara's experience is destined to be very precocious. He glanced at Qianyu. As the former one-tail Jinchuriki, and a person who was captured by the Akatsuki organization and died once, no one feels more deeply than me. If it weren't for Master Hokage, I would be dead now. The ambition of Akatsuki is unprecedented. To fight against Akatsuki organization, all shinobu villages must work together. Tsuchikage Onoki said coldly, not bad. Akatsuki organized unscrupulous activities everywhere after the previous war. We, 4 Tails Jinchuriki from Iwagakure, and 5 Tails Jinchuriki Han, were all captured by Akatsuki. Darui of the Thunder Country also lazily said, the same goes for the 2nd Tail Jinchuriki in the Thunder Country. Terumi Mei of the Water Country said, the same goes for Kurigakure's 3 Tails and 6 Tails Jinchuriki foam. Everyone looked at Killer Bee. Killer Bee shrugged. It all depends on what I do. Asshole, asshole. Darui said, Master Killer Bee, there is no doubt that Akatsuki's next target is you. Killer Bee said, isn't there still 9 tails? Everyone smiled bitterly. 9 tails. Did Akatsuki dare to go to Konoha village to capture 9 tails? Don't dare to give them 10 courage. Find flowers. Qianyu killed 4 of the 10 members of the Shao organization in the last big battle. All the others have also suffered heavy losses. Under such circumstances, who would dare to provoke Qianyu and his Konoha village? Qianyu said calmly. 9 tails, I naturally have arrangements long ago, and there will never be any problems. However, 9 tails chakra does not only exist in Jinchuriki. Everyone was taken aback. Qianyu then told the story about the Golden Horn and Silver Horn brothers. Darui frowned and said, Master Hokage is right. They are indeed 2 legendary characters in Cloud Shinobi Village. These 2 people are rumored to have the blood of Sage of 6 Paths, and they have swallowed the flesh and blood in 9 tails. So, they also have 9 tails chakra, and they can even become a tail animal. However, they have been dead for many years. 0. Qianyu said calmly. In the Akatsuki organization, there is a traitor Orochimaru from our Konoha village. His impure world reincarnation technique, even first Hokage can be summoned, let alone the Golden Horn and Silver Horn. Everyone was silent. The battle between Senju Hashirama and Qianyu has now spread throughout the ninja realm, shocking the world. It is precisely because of this that the major powers are now in awe of Qianyu. Don't dare to have any careful thoughts at all. In the face of absolute strength, any conspiracy is meaningless. Qianyu calmly said. So, 9 tails chakra can be obtained, and it is difficult for us to stop it. The last piece. You are the one. A voice suddenly came. 8 tails Jinchuriki, Killer Bee. The ninja of Cloud Shinobi Village has reported that Akatsuki has been found in Yunlei Gorge. Who? She. Great responsibility. Great pressure. Yo. Darui suddenly said. Actually. Killer Bee touched his head suddenly. Now, isn't 8 tails Jinchuriki showing up? However, I can hide for a while, not for a lifetime. And at this moment, thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Everyone looked at Killer Bee. Hey, you have reached this kind of crisis-ridden situation. It is a gift to be able to rap here. Everyone was shocked. It's just that, due to the previous incident of the disappearance of Jinchuriki, Lord Killer Bee has left Yunlei Gorge to practice and returned directly to Cloud Shinobi Village, so he escaped. I see. Chapter 112. Advertise here. This low voice shocked everyone's heart. Because the participants in the Five Shadows Conference are undoubtedly the legendary ninjas. There is no weak person. However, no one even perceives this terrifying chakra. Of course, except Qianyu. He had already sensed the arrival of the enemy. And this enemy, it is an unprecedented strong enemy. That terrifying chakra, even in the entire history of ninja, there is only one person who can be compared. God of Ninja, first Hokage of Konoha Village. Senju Hashirama. This man, of course. Uchiha Madara. He casually walked into the meeting place. Outside the venue, the ninja in Takigakura had been silently killed by him. Everyone's heart suddenly stunned. The shadows and guards of the 5 ninja villages immediately stood up. Onoki suddenly rolled down his forehead with cold sweat. You are. His guards of Lois and Black Soil have never seen such a panicked expression on Onogi. Even a few other shadows know the horror of Onoki. In the face of Qianyu, he has never shown such a look. Heitu immediately said, Grandpa, who is this man? Oyemu said his name word by word. Uchiha Madara. As soon as the name came out, the whole venue was completely silent. Silent. It seems that everyone has fallen into an ice cellar, chilling all over, extremely cold. When the agent Mizukage Terumi heard the name, she was shocked and almost didn't sit back. Uchiha Madara. With the exception of Onogi, the 4 famous figures in the 4 great ninja villages of the 4 great nations are absolute young people. Headed by Qianyu, acting as Mizukage Terumi, acting as Reikage Darui, acting as Fungi Angara, one is younger than the other. However, the name of Uchiha Madara, no matter how young a ninja is, it is like thunderous ears. That is, the man who once worked with first Hokage, the god of ninjas, to calm the troubled Sengoku world and establish the order of the entire ninja world. Although in the Battle of End Valley, Uchiha Madara eventually lost to Senju Hashirama. But, lost in the hands of a god, there is no price drop. It will only make people feel more mysterious, terrifying and powerful. Uchiha Madara walked in calmly. There is no one in his eyes. His pupils changed instantly and became the shape of Mangekyo Sharingan. 8 Tails Jinchuriki. Got you. Boom. Body flicker technique. Uchiha Madara's body flicker technique is amazingly fast. In an instant came to Killer Bee's body. Even 8 Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee can't react at all. You know, Killer Bee is also an absolute super ninja. However, at the moment when Uchiha Madara is about to meet Killer Bee. Boom. A terrifying fist, bombarded away fiercely. Uchiha Madara's reaction was not unpleasant. Boom. The same is also a punch. Rumble. The entire venue suddenly collapsed. Most of them were dumped and collapsed and turned into dilapidated ruins. Boom. Everyone jumped out of the field one after another. Of course it was Qianyu who intercepted Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara looked into his eyes. A descendant of the Uchiha clan. How dare you defy my will? Uchiha Madara's punch just now was pushed back by the opponent. This is unprecedented. Except for Senju Hashirama, there is no one in his eyes. And this time, even though it was only a few steps back, it already made him extremely angry. Qianyu smiled slightly. Yes, my name is Uchiha Qianyu. Fire Land, Konoha Village, 4th Hokage. Uchiha Madara was shocked. Oh, are you the Hokage of Konoha Village? Uchiha Qianyu. That's it, the most difficult thing that man has to deal with is you. Qianyu's heart also moved slightly. That man. In fact, the appearance of Uchiha Madara at this time was something that Qianyu did not expect. After all, Pen Nagato is now catching the tail beast. And Obito, he is the first person to dislike Uchiha Madara so early. So, why does Uchiha Madara appear early? Moreover, should he go straight to the venue of the 5 Shadows Conference? What's the deviation in the middle? Qianyu frowned slightly and asked. Uchiha Madara snorted coldly, this is not important. He pointed to Killer Bee. I want to take 8 Tails Jinchuriki. Do you want to stop me? Qianyu said calmly. Of course. Uchiha Madara was furious. Since you are a member of my Uchiha clan, shouldn't you stand with me? Qianyu smiled and said, Uchiha Madara. Your strength is undoubtedly unprecedentedly strong. However, your thoughts and will are too naive and extreme. Strong strength, coupled with extreme thoughts, will give birth to naive fantasy. That is not only an illusion of Kyoka Suigetsu, but it is very likely to be used by others. After all, Uchiha Madara is nothing more than a tool man for Black Zetsu to resurrect Otsutsuki Kagaya. In essence, it is still a tragic existence. Although Qianyu didn't say this explicitly, he also expressed his feelings. Of course Uchiha Madara would not listen, but was furious in an instant. Dare you preach to me? Boy, do you think you are Hashirama? Even Hashirama doesn't deserve to talk to me like this. Qianyu sighed. Worthy of being Uchiha Madara, this kind of time is full of Senju Hashirama. But Uchiha Madara is already furious. He snorted coldly. Very well, I will kill all of you first, and then take 8 Tails Jinchuriki. Uchiha Madara said this, but calmed down. He faces the 5 shadows of the 5 shadows, the top elite ninjas in the major ninja villages. There seemed to be no one in his eyes. Fire style. The fire is extinguished. Boom. The terrifying fire style burst out in an instant, covering the sky and covering the sky. The extremely hot flame shocked everyone's heart. What a powerful fire style technique. Ready to meet the enemy. Numerous ninjas shouted one after another, wanting to launch the water style technique to greet them. However, at this moment, Qianyu gently folded his hands. Snapped. Fire style. Extinguish the fire. As soon as his eyes moved, he immediately realized that Uchiha Qianyu on the opposite side. The flames are also extremely terrifying, rising instantly and bursting out. Rumble. Unexpectedly, can the arrogance that can compete with me be extinguished? Coupled with the strength of the Uchiha clan, I am afraid that the strength is even higher than that of Senju Hashirama. 2 terrifying flames, like a sea of fire, hit one place instantly, and the entire sky was burning. What on earth are you, kid? The power of God. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Very good. He also directly launched the same move. Suddenly, Uchiha Madara also put away his contempt. Uchiha Qianyu. The whole earth is trembling. Uchiha Madara's heart moved. I'm here to let you know what Uchiha Madara is. Chakra in a single suit is almost on par with his old enemy Senju Hashirama. Chapter 113. Advertise here. The power of God. With just one blow, all the 4 shadows and many elite ninjas were stunned. Although it is just a fire style, the scale of the technique is beyond imagination. To know, extinguishing the fire is just a B-level ninjutsu. But in the hands of Uchiha Madara, it seems to be super S grade. Certainly, the one who is completely comparable to him, or even worse, is Uchiha Qianyu. This man, the same fire extinguished, was not inferior to Uchiha Madara, and even the latter came first, which was comparable to it, indicating that the power might still be higher than Uchiha Madara. For a while, everyone finally understood. This is a battle between 2 godlike ninjas. I'm afraid I can't intervene at all. The battle between Qianyu and Senju Hashirama was witnessed only by the ninjas of Konoha village. Although it has become a legend, for most ninjas, after all, they have not seen it with their own eyes. And now, there is no doubt that they want to witness another legend. Battle of the Myths. Uchiha Madara and Qianyu, just outside the now dilapidated venue, face each other and stand in opposition. The terrifying breath and coercion made all the ninjas roll down in cold sweat. Numerous ninjas, 24 involuntarily swallowed their saliva. As if it was just a breath, it made them feel trembling. The other 4 shadows and many elite ninjas, in addition to their own safety, also guarded Killer Bee behind them. Killer Bee knew that he was the prey of Uchiha Madara. Although he is simple and bold, he is also afraid of Uchiha Madara. So, he didn't say anything. The other side. Faced with Qianyu, Uchiha Madara said coldly, let's start, let you see, my heyday. Fire style. Dragon flame singing technique. Boom. In an instant, from Uchiha Madara's mouth, 4 huge fire dragons spewed out. Divided into 4 directions, up, down, left, and right, completely locked Qianyu's body. In addition to hard resistance, there is no way to avoid it. Qianyu smiled slightly and put his hands together. Fire style. Dragon flame singing technique. Rumble. The same 4 fire dragons burst out in an instant, and slammed into Uchiha Madara's dragon flame singing technique. A terrifying roar broke out. The earth was bombarded out of 4 huge pits. All of a sudden, a mess and dusty. Boom. Uchiha Madara had arrived at this moment, an instant, and hit it with a fierce punch. Physical surgery. Battlefield rose, start dancing. With the help of Mangekyo Sharingan, the huge amount of chakra, and Uchiha Madara's unparalleled rich battlefield experience, even if one person faces 10,000 people on the battlefield, he is not in the slightest fear. What's more, now it is against Qianyu alone. Boom, boom, boom. In an instant, the 2 of them were dazzled by everyone, and they fought dozens of moves. The power of horror and chakra are overflowing. The trembling earth was trembling, and the dust in the sky suddenly scattered. Crazy fists, bombarded like a storm, each punch is like an air cannon, punching out a series of air holes, shocking the world. And many ninjas had to step back, stay away, and escape step by step. Even if it is affected by the aftermath of the power of the 2 of them, I am afraid that they will be seriously injured. This kid, physique is so good. Uchiha Madara couldn't help frowning. Of course he didn't know that Qianyu not only Grandmaster Konoha fluid technique, but also 8 inner gates formation has been able to open the dead door. On physical skills, not even under Might Guy. If you add the Marine 6 styles from the system sign in, Conqueror's Haki. Then, Might Guy is absolutely inferior to him in physical skills. Although Uchiha Madara's physical skills are powerful, they can't compete with Qianyu. Boom. 8 inner gates formation. 6th gate. Jingmun. Open. Toward the peacock. Rumble. Rumble. Qianyu burst out of strength, and violently bombarded the air with one punch after another. A terrifying flame erupted, like a falling star, blasting at Uchiha Madara fiercely. 8 inner gates formation. This guy, humph. The flame ball fan in Uchiha Madara's hand suddenly flew up. Boom. Uchiha rebounds. This trick, although the name is funny, it is actually a terrifying move. Dissolve and absorb all the enemy's attacks and transform it into wind-style chakra, then counterattack suddenly. He even bounced Naruto's mini-tailed beast bomb. Many ninjas were caught off guard and died under this trick. Certainly. The corner of Qianyu's mouth raised slightly. Boom. The moment the opponent launched Uchiha's rebound, his body disappeared in place. In the next moment, it has appeared on the other side of Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara has no time to react. Boom. A punch hit his body fiercely. Click, click. Half of Uchiha Madara's body was directly blown out. What? Uchiha Madara immediately flew back, but half of his body was shattered and vanished. However, he is the body of impure world reincarnation, and he is not afraid of these so-called injuries. However, boy, how dare you? The injury this time is an unprecedented shame. In the eyes of Uchiha Madara, no one is considered at all except Senju Hashirama. However, in today's battle, he actually lost to Qianyu as soon as he came up. This is a shame. Tianshu unexpectedly lost to you. Very good, kid. I'm going to start fighting seriously. Snapped. His hands snapped together. Wood style. The tree world is born. Uchiha Madara actually used first Hokage's wood style secret technique. Qianyu knew that this was the ability he gained after fusing the wood style cells of first generation when he was dying. It is precisely because of this that the fusion of the power of the Senju and the Uchiha clan prompted Uchiha Madara to turn on the real Rinnegan before he died. But, isn't it wood style? Qianyu also immediately activated the wood style secret technique. Birthday in the tree world. Uchiha Madara was even more surprised. Why, you kid will. Rumble, rumble. The whole earth began to vibrate. For a time, everyone in the entire venue was shocked and in awe. The same is true for Qianyu's tree world birth. Qianyu stood gently on a big tree transformed by wood style, holding his chest and looking at Uchiha Madara on the opposite side. Did you also get Hashirama's wood style cells? Master Hokage, he was able to completely suppress Uchiha Madara. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. That Qianyu is on par with the legendary Uchiha Madara. And Uchiha Madara frowned. Unexpectedly, there are people besides me who can do this. Is this still a ninja? Countless vine branches climbed wildly, and grew wildly above the sky. Horror. Terrible. Too strong. The terrifying chakra instantly permeated the entire venue, and everyone looked at the two people who were fighting as if looking at a god. Senju Hashirama back then, was he hitting with such a man? Wood style. The flower and tree world is born. But, the two intertwined and confronted each other instantly. Chapter 114. Advertise here. Rumble, rumble. The tree world was born just now, and it has suddenly evolved again. Suddenly, flowers bloomed on the countless tree trunks and branches. However, this is not a stunning and beautiful sight. After those flowers bloomed, endless pollen was released instantly. Poisonous pollen. Even Uchiha Madara and Hokage, as long as they are infected, they will be poisoned and fainted. Qianyu did not learn this trick. But, it does not mean that he will be afraid. Snapped. Wind style. Great breakthrough. Qianyu displayed his wind style. Although he rarely uses wind style, it is not his strong point, but with Qianyu's chakra, any ninjutsu in his hands is comparable to Super S-grade ninjutsu. The only ones who can compete with him are Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara. Rumble, rumble. This wind style grade breakthrough is not a particularly powerful ninjutsu. Even many ninjas of Grandmaster wind style can use it. However, such a terrifying scale shocked everyone. This is B-level ninjutsu. Crazy winds suddenly started everywhere. In an instant, overwhelming the sky, covering the sky and leaving the sun. Dust dances wildly, sawdust fly all over. And the pollen that just bloomed was blown back in an instant, but flew away crazy toward Uchiha Madara. Using the power of wind style to blow the poisonous pollen back. Uchiha Madara immediately retreated hundreds of meters. Fire style. The fire is gone. Rumble. A terrifying fire style fell from the sky like a meteorite. In an instant, the huge jungle formed by the birth of the entire flower and tree world ignited a raging fire in an instant. Qianyu's wind style, on the contrary, contributed to the flames. In an instant, the raging flames roared in the sky. Then Uchiha Madara used the flame group fan to display wind style, and the terrifying flame instantly counterattacked Qianyu. Oh, Qianyu smiled slightly, calmly. Mangekyo Sharingan. Hoodoo Yuhun. Boom. In an instant, the terrifying black thunder and fire poured out crazily. It turned into a black thunderstorm. Suddenly descended into the world. That is, a terrifying ninjutsu that can smash the tree world and flames with thunder and burn them to death with black flames. For a moment, the sky was full of raging fires, and they were all burned out by direct blows. Uchiha Madara was taken aback. That is, the ability of Mangekyo Sharingan. But, more terrifying than Amaterasu. The black thunder and fire can cut everything off and burn it all off. I have never seen such a pupil technique before. Is it the upgraded Mangekyo Sharingan pupil technique? At this point, Uchiha Madara can only use his full power. Mangekyo Sharingan, Susanoo. Finally, his Susanoo suddenly descended into this ninja world. Rumble. Immediately, the entire burning jungle was instantly torn apart under the violent bombardment of Susanoo's sword aura. The horrible flames and forest sea that had turned into ashes, disappeared in an instant. Turned into dust and ashes in the sky. Qianyu also fell to the ground at the same time. Susanoo facing Uchiha Madara. Have you finally used Susanoo? Qianyu sneered. Pudu Yuhun. Boom. The terrifying black thunder and fire, once again descended on the world in an instant. In an instant, it hit Uchiha Madara's Susanoo fiercely. Black thunder. Black flame. Hack. Burn. Although Uchiha Madara has a Susanoo body, he can't help but frown. What a kid. He has such power. I will admit it. You are indeed qualified to be me and Hashirama's opponent. Qianyu couldn't help but smile slightly. At this time, don't you forget to bring Senju Hashirama. You two are really in love. Uchiha Madara looked at Susanoo's shell, which was constantly hacked and burned, and sneered slightly. Suddenly stretched out his hand. And his pupils turned into Rinnegan's shape in an instant. Feng Shu sucks the mark. Rumble. In an instant, all the black thunder and flames entwined with Susanoo were swallowed up by his Rinnegan ability, directly swallowing all chakra. Disappeared in the invisible. Qianyu couldn't help but move slightly in his heart. This is the first time that his Pudu Yuhun has been swallowed and cracked. As expected of Uchiha Madara. Very good, in that case. Qianyu also sneered, and in his eyes, his pupils turned red in an instant. The three-go jade spun wildly, and instantly turned into Mangekyo Sharingan. Susanoo. He also summoned his Susanoo instantly. Uchiha Madara's Susanoo is blue. And Qianyu's is pure white color. Moreover, there is a flash of horrible lightning. It is unique to him. Thor Susanoo. Huh, even Susanoo is upgraded. Uchiha Madara frowned, but didn't care. Put your hands together. The curved blade in his hand slashed wildly. Rumble. The terrifying sword energy instantly cut the earth. Slashed towards Qianyu fiercely. Qianyu sneered, and a black thunder gun appeared between Susanoo's hands. Suddenly bombard and stab out. Boom. The terrifying thunder burst into the venue in an instant. And that Uchiha Madara's Taito sword spirit slammed into it. The whole earth was overturned instantly. The terrifying and vast chakra burst instantly, and everyone was agitated by this wave of air, and was blown away suddenly. And this is just a tentative blow from two people Susanoo. Diaresis. Good. Uchiha Madara seems to be excited at last. The fighting spirit is surging madly. He laughed wildly, driving Susanoo towards Qianyu suddenly. Susanoo's fourth form. With the growth of the lower body and legs, full combat power and mobility are greatly improved. And Susanoo's double knives have also become 4. Boom. Teidao Janchi roared out again. Qianyu also immediately promoted Susanoo to the fourth form. The complete Susanoo appeared instantly and stood up. And the color of the whole body, through the blessing of the Budu Yuhun and the power of Thunder Fruit, turned into a black color all over the body. The black thunder and fire spread all over the body, covering the entire Susanoo. The thunder spear in his hand is even more tens of times bigger in an instant. And in the right hand, even more, Li Hao is the defensive artifact Yata Mirror. Boom. Qianyu's thunder god Susanoo supported Yata Mirror in an instant. Defending all the 4 realms of horror is too sword-like. He gave birth to humans other than Senju Hashirama, and had a strong desire to fight. The terrifying power of thunder shot out in an instant. Susanoo of Uchiha Madara, with 4 arms and 4 Tai swords, suddenly crossed in one place. The first time. Boom. Coming to fight. What? Uchiha Madara finally changed his face. The excitement and enthusiasm after finally encountering the opponent. The black thunder and raging fire was actually defended by 4 Taito. However, on the body of the sword, it was immediately eroded and swallowed by the black thunder and fire. That's a Uchiha Qianyu, and the thunder spear in the left hand stabs out fiercely in an instant. Qianyu also roared. Come on. Defense. This opponent is simply unexpectedly powerful and terrifying. Chapter 115. Advertise here. Boom. Uchiha Madara's eyes instantly turned into Rinnegan, and he waved his hand gently. Shenluo Tianzheng. Boom. Those black thunder and blazing fires were all agitated and flew out in an instant. The terrifying repulsive force even furiously fought back towards Qianyu. Rinnegan's ability. This fellow Madara is really difficult. Qianyu couldn't help frowning. The huge black thunder spear in his Susanoo hand swung out fiercely. Rumble. Turn those black thunder fires that fought back into ashes and annihilate them. At the same time, Susanoo from Uchiha Madara is close at hand. 4 Tai swords slashed down fiercely. With Qianyu's thoughts, the Yata mirror in Susanoo's hand immediately raised his backhand and rose into the sky. Boom. The power of horror has even caused 4 huge gullies that spread vertically and horizontally to appear on the entire earth. Bottomless. However, Qianyu's Yata mirror still firmly defended all the power of the sword spirit. At the same time, the thunder spear in his left hand took the opportunity to stab out. Laugh. This blow hit Uchiha Madara's Susanoo's body suddenly. Roar. Qianyu roared, and the thunder spear exploded with full power. The whole stab in an instant, boom. It turned out to be the hole pierced in. Penetrating, and the ensuing black thunder fire burned Susanoo's shell instantly. Unexpectedly, broke Susanoo's defense. Uchiha Madara was taken aback. This is unprecedented. Except for having suffered under the hands of Sage Art Wood Style Shinsu Senju in Senju Hashirama's Sage Art Wood Style Shinsu Senju, his Susanoo has never been broken. Until now, boom. Qianyu's black thunder spear pierced in again. Take another 3 points. Uchiha Madara finally changed color. What a Uchiha Qianyu. Very good, in that case. Let you see my true peak strength. Rumble. In an instant, the whole Susanoo suddenly dispersed. However, before all the ninjas cheered, a terrifying sight shocked all of them. An unforgettable scene for all the ninjas present appeared. A terrifying colossus that was 10 times bigger, 100 times bigger, appeared on the earth in an instant. That is, completely Susanoo. That terrifying coercion instantly shattered everyone's confidence. For a time, thump, thump. I don't know how many ninjas, they just slumped on the ground. Too powerful. It's not a dimensional power at all. Is this the power of God? Completely Susanoo. Hundreds of meters in height. The terrifying chakra coercion shocked everyone's hearts. At the beginning, this trick made Wang instantly fall into despair. Let alone an ordinary ninja. Qianyu frowned slightly when he saw this scene, but it was more excited. Are you completely Susanoo? Even Qianyu did not turn it on. However, he is not afraid at all. Snapped. He snapped his hands together. Okay, Uchiha Madara, let you see my power. Sage Art. Wood Style. Shinsu Senju. Uchiha Madara was about to launch his terrifying offensive, but he was equally surprised to see this scene. That's Hashirama's Sage Art. Moreover, it is also integrated with Wood Style. Is it Shinsu Senju? He actually. Uchiha Madara at this moment has swallowed Senju Hashirama's Wood Style cells, but can only display Wood Style. For Shanshu, it still doesn't. In the original work, he didn't really possess the fairy magic until he swallowed the Senju Hashirama's chakra after Impure World reincarnation. Therefore, in the face of this scene, his shock was even greater than those of ninjas. However, an even more shocking scene appeared. Mangekyo Sharingan. Susanoo. Prestige coverage. In an instant, the terrifying Susanoo chakra instantly covered the entire body of the Shinsu Senju Buddha. Just like your own prestige Susanoo, it is the same as covering Susanoo with 9 tails. Qianyu, however, covered the wood-style Buddha on Susanoo. In other words, combine the 2 most powerful moves of yourself and Senju Hashirama into one. Uchiha Madara's heart is shaken. Actually, anyone can do this. Even if I have never imagined it. Qianyu's hundreds of meters huge Shinsu Senju covers Susanoo's chakra even more terrifying than Uchiha Madara's complete body Susanoo. All the ninjas were shocked for a while. I don't know whether he should be amazed and admired by Qianyu's power, or should he feel unparalleled awe and fear. The power of 2 people. They have exceeded the limit of their imagination. It shouldn't be the power that should exist in the shinobi world. For a time, all the shadows, elite ninjas, sighed and shook their heads. They know that this level of war is not something they can participate in at all. It is a kind of luck to be able to witness. Qianyu said loudly. Uchiha Madara. Although I haven't turned on Susanoo, but this is a more terrifying move obtained by combining the abilities of Sage Art, Wood Style, and Mangekyo Sharingan in one place, combining the abilities of the Senju clan and Uchiha clan. I named him Prestige. Big Buddha Suzuo. Uchiha Madara sneered, although I don't know where you got the power from, but I want to see, can your all sorts of moves be able to withstand my perfect body Susanoo? Boom. Uchiha Madara fiercely swung the big sword in Susanoo's hands one by one. Boom. A blow comparable to the power of the tail beast. Qianyu ducked gently. However, rumble. A mountain in the distance was directly slashed and broken. The sound of the terrifying collapse did not pass until a long time later. Boom. Boom. It's like the sky is falling apart and the earth is falling apart. Super long distance. Break the mountain with one blow. This terrifying power shocked all the ninjas, and was stunned in amazement. Qianyu also glanced at the collapsed and broken mountain in the distance, frowning slightly. As expected of Susanoo. In that case, snapped. Sage Art. Wood Style. Shinsu Senju. On top of the Buddha. Prestige. Big Buddha Suzuo. The terrifying Senju Buddha covered with Susanoo suddenly launched his own offensive. 1,000 arms, madly surging out, hit Susanoo's defense fiercely. It's like a strong wind and showers. Chapter 116. Advertise here. Uchiha Madara will naturally not show weakness. He roared, and violently urged Susanoo. From the wings behind, 2 huge swords were drawn. Boom. Sweep your arms. The sword light roars. It collided with Qianyu's prestigious Buddha Susuo. The sound of impact, as if opening up the world, instantly spread throughout the entire Takian village. For a time, the sky collapsed and everything collapsed. The whole earth broke apart from it. Above the firmament, there is a chakra that is full of diffusely high, flooding the whole sky. Fully understand Susanoo's sword spirit. Prestigious bombardment with the 1,000 arms of the great Buddha Suzuo. Furiously surging and roaring and hitting. The ninjas of Takigakura, the shadows of the 5 great ninjas, the elite ninjas of various countries. They all looked at all this dumbfounded. As if watching a battle between gods and demons. It's like a creation myth. The power of Uchiha Madara and Uchiha Qianyu surpassed the limit of their imagination. Even if it is a dream, it is impossible to dream of it, that oneself can possess such a powerful force. You know, Qianyu's prestigious Susuo Buddha, Shinsu Senju on top of the Buddha, 8,000 arms. Every arm's bombardment is simply enough to cut off the river and break the ground. I am afraid that the other 4 shadows on top of it can hardly resist the power of this blow. And now, but it is 1,000 arms, bombarding together crazy. That is, opposite Uchiha Madara, and his perfect body Susanoo. If you change to someone else, it is impossible to resist any absolute defense for a moment. For example, Sunagaku's sand ninjutsu is absolutely defensive. For example, Iwagaku's Gang Li technique. Such as Thunder Country Cloud Shinobi Village's proud lightning style chakra shield. Every big country and every big ninja village has its own strongest defensive secret technique. However, even if they are all brought together, how long can they last under such frenzied bombing? For a moment, in an instant, but those 2 people seem to have no end at all. Chakra seems endless. Uchiha Madara is in the state of impure world reincarnation. But Qianyu is a living person. Moreover, he is a young ninja. His chakra seems to be endless. The confrontation with Uchiha Madara until now, there is no sign of weakness, but more violent and domineering. 2 people roar at the same time. Susanoo's great sword. Prestige Susanoo's Senju Buddha. Suddenly approaching at the same time again. Already close at hand, fiercely blast. ... It lasted for nearly half an hour. Qianyu's Shinsu Senju also lost more than half. But, Susanoo, Uchiha Madara's complete body, is even more devastated. Half of his body was beaten to tatters. The armor was completely shattered and completely stripped away. Even the flesh and blood on the outside was stripped, leaving only the skeleton of Susanoo. The wings behind it were also completely broken and shattered into nothing. The 2 great swords are all broken. Uchiha Madara couldn't help but gasp. Although impure world reincarnation does not need to breathe. But he also felt that his power was exhausted. Of course, Qianyu is the same, his power has almost reached its limit. Boom. Susanoo, Uchiha Madara's complete body, completely dissipated. At the same time, Qianyu's prestigious Suzuo Buddha almost reached its limit. At the same time, he also removed his ninjutsu. The 2 stood facing each other again. It can push me to this level. Apart from Senju Hashirama, you are the first. Uchiha Qianyu, I have to compliment you. Amazing. Unfortunately, Uchiha Madara said coldly, in that case, it seems that I cannot take 8 Tails Jinchuriki away today. As soon as this sentence comes out, it is tantamount to acknowledging. The purpose of his coming today is completely unattainable. It was stopped, intercepted, and destroyed by Qianyu. It is equivalent to saying, is admitting his failure. Acknowledged his failure to Qianyu. But, Uchiha Qianyu, let me give you a parting gift. Just take it as a compliment to you. Boom. A huge Susanoo appeared again. Although he is not completely Susanoo, he also has a huge body. And, it turned out to be a double-sided Susanoo, back to back, with 2 faces and 4 arms. Qianyu's heart suddenly moved. Is that the trick? He immediately stopped. Boom. Susanoo appeared again, and the huge black thunder spear in his hand slammed out fiercely. Uchiha Madara suddenly resisted with his body. Boom. His entire body was directly pierced by Qianyu's thunder gun. A huge hole appeared on the chest. The black thunder and fire quickly spread, eroding his whole body crazily. Huh, is it really unstoppable thunder and flames? Find flowers. Good. Unfortunately. Snapped. Uchiha Madara doesn't care about his body that is about to be destroyed. Anyway, the body of impure world reincarnation will always recover. Uchiha Madara begins to seal. At the same time, that double-sided Susanoo, 4 arms started to seal at the same time. That is, Uchiha Madara said 4 words in a deep voice. Tengai Shinsei. For an instant, between heaven and earth, there seemed to be silence. Everyone still didn't understand what happened. Only Qianyu frowned slightly. At this time, a terrifying sense of oppression suddenly descended into the world from above the sky. Then, what is that? The first ninja spotted suddenly raised his head and saw a terrifying scene. 0. And the other ninjas also discovered one by one. He raised his head, his eyes widened, his mouth opened wide, and he couldn't say a word. God. God's power. A force that is not in the same dimension at all with us. Too powerful. When, one by one, the weapons in their hands fell to the ground. Thump. Ninjas slumped directly on the ground. They have lost their will to fight. Fallen into complete despair. This is the powerlessness of mortals when facing gods. It seems that the ants are facing the Shenlong. Uchiha Madara laughed wildly. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Shock. Howl. Marvel. Boom. Fall. Under the power of my god, all turn into dust. It is better to let all people, under this blow, all fly to ashes and annihilate together. Shouldn't you really think that this trick, Tengai Shinsei, can kill me? Uchiha Madara. But he didn't care at all. Qianyu suddenly let out a sneer. You people of ants. Uchiha Madara was shocked. Scholar. Although, under Qianyu's thunder and flames, his body gradually turned into broken pieces, dissipating. Uchiha Qianyu, so are you. Under the godlike power of my Uchiha Madara. That is, anyway, under Tengai Shinsei, even his body was going to be shattered. His hands snapped together, and he had already exploded with a powerful aura. Chapter 117. Advertise here. Qianyu snapped his hands together. I am ready to explode my strongest blow. It is precisely this trick that convinced Senju Hashirama to admit defeat. Jade of Extinction Road, incorporating the strongest meaning of Thunder Fruit, Lei Ying. Yusaka no Jade fused with Susanoo. The immortal black thunder fire of Mangekyo Sharingan's Budo Soul. Infinite chakra that incorporates its own first-generation Project Sage body template. Incorporating the terrifying endless fairy chakra under first-generation Sage mode. All the power, all merged into one. Turned into this way, it is enough to destroy the world. Jade of Extinction Road. Rumble, rumble, now. The terrifying huge meteorite began to fall crazily towards the earth. The whole earth began to roar. Tremors endlessly. The mountains and rivers shattered and shattered. The river flows backwards and rages raging. The tremendous pressure made everyone seem to have lost all the will to resist. If this meteorite hits the ground by bombardment, the entire Takinoki village, the entire Takino country, and even the other small countries around it, as well as the neighboring Earth country and part of the Fire country, will probably be affected. It is an unprecedented terrible disaster. However, just at this moment of desperation, Qianyu roared, snapped. A black ball of thunder quickly condensed and merged all the supreme prophecy of oneself. Buzzing, rotating crazily endlessly, possessing the power to destroy the world. The Jade of Extinguishing Tao. Boom. Qianyu's Susanoo, with both hands and arms violently controlled the Taoist Jade, burst out fiercely. Boom. Tengai Shinsei who was falling in the middle. Rumble. An unprecedented roar of terror was transmitted thousands of miles away. The entire sky is shaking and roaring. The huge meteorite body of Tengai Shinsei was instantly exploded by the Jade of Extinction Tao. Turned into fragments in the sky, flying away crazy. Uchiha Madara was shocked. It broke Tengai Shinsei. But, how do you deal with this one? Rumble. Another meteorite fell down. Of course Qianyu was prepared. You have two meteorites, I was naturally prepared for it. The Jade of Extinguishing Tao. The second Jade of the Destruction of the Tao, bombarded out again. The second meteorite was also turned into fragments, exploded madly, and fell down. So far, all the moves and attacks of Uchiha Madara were all resolved by Qianyu. Uchiha Madara couldn't help sighing. Great kid. This time, I will admit my failure. However, the next time I appear, I will be millions of times stronger than I am now. At that time, I will be the first to crush you to death. His whole body was turned into ashes by the thunder and fire, and the dust was scattered and disappeared into the invisible. Although the body of impure world reincarnation can be recovered, Uchiha Madara, who has admitted his failure, of course cannot appear here again. With his dignity, he is not allowed to fail. Now. The meteorite fragments falling frantically are like squally showers. Pouring down. Although it is impossible to cause too much disaster, there may be many casualties. Qianyu could have continued to pursue Uchiha Madara's re-emergence of impure world reincarnation. However, facing the meteorite fragments in the sky, he could only sigh. Ninjas of major countries exist. At this moment, Qianyu seemed to be the lord of ninja world. All the shadows, ninjas, all obeyed his orders awe-inspiringly. Protect the village and civilians. Prepare to defend against meteorite fragments. Yes. For a moment, under the orders of Qianyu and the other four shadows, ninjas from various countries started their actions instantly. Fire style, dragon fire technique, lightning style, thunder spear technique. Water style, water shock, earth style, light and heavy rock technique. Wind style, great breakthrough. Ninjas from various countries have displayed their own ninjutsu. Some people who are good at physiques fly up directly and directly smash the falling meteorite fragments. When the dust settled, all the meteorite fragments were shocking and safe, turning into harmless small fragments and scattered on the earth. All the ninjas finally breathed a sigh of relief. Everyone looked at Qianyu. From now on, Qianyu has become the savior and patron saint of the entire ninja world. No one dared to be disrespectful or dissatisfied with him anymore. The other four shadows all stepped forward and asked respectfully, Master Hokage, what do you plan to do next? Qianyu shook his head. First, they want to collect the 9 big-tailed beasts. Now I am afraid that everything is ready. The only thing missing is the 8 chakras. So. Killer Bee, you are the key person now. I will use my own wood-style clone to cover you to Konoha village and receive protection there. Killer Bee is a little upset. I don't need protection, idiot, jerk. But Darui and others immediately punched him. Master Killer B. Listen to Master Hokage's orders. Although Qianyu killed 4th Hokage, they all hated Qianyu in their hearts, but they all know that in the current situation, Qianyu's approach is the only possible action to protect Killer B. Killer B had no choice but to sulk his life. Qianyu said again. Second, I am afraid that all major countries and major ninja villages will have to mobilize urgently. The final battle intent in the ninja world is about to start. This is the last ninja battle. The 5th Ninja World War. The many Four Shadows are stunned in their hearts. But they knew that what Qianyu said must be true. Yes, Master Hokage, I see. The Kingdom of Wind understands. The old man will prepare too. Qianyu nodded. Third, Uchiha Madara, impure world reincarnation is almost impossible to destroy. Furthermore, he himself knows the impure world reincarnation technique, and he can't control it at all. Furthermore, even if I eliminate him and seal him off, as long as there is someone who knows impure world reincarnation technique, he can summon him again. So, I will tackle this caster. Kakashi said. Master Hokage said. Orochimaru. Qianyu nodded. Not bad. And this is also the 4th point. Uchiha Madara was called out so early, it is absolutely unreasonable. Obviously, there was also civil strife in Akatsuki's organization. They were originally a group of careerists with ghosts. But, what happened? I have to investigate. Orochimaru and Akatsuki's organization will be left to me for the time being. My wood-style clone will protect Killer B. And you guys, yes, from this moment on, you are no longer acting as a shadow, but a real shadow. You have to rush back to your respective villages and prepare for the final battle. Yes, Master Hokage. I see, Master Hokage. After Qianyu's order, everyone felt awe-inspiring. Is the final battle about to start? But, with Qianyu, any terrifying enemy will no longer make people feel desperate, right? This is the majesty of the Lord of Ninja World. Chapter 118. Advertise here. After the 5 Shadows talks, Qianyu has become the de facto Lord of Ninja World. Under his orders, the major shadows commanded the ninjas in their respective ninja villages and returned to their villages to prepare for the war. And Killer B, accompanied by several ninjas from Cloud Shinobi Village, went to Konoha Village to escape together under the cover of Qianyu's wood-style clone. As for Qianyu himself, it is on the road to find the truth behind the scenes. This time Uchiha Madara's appearance was indeed unexpected. Because he is familiar with the plot, he is far from when Uchiha Madara appears. Then, the only possibility is, within the last remaining Akatsuki organization, there was an internal fight. Originally, although Akatsuki had only 6 members left, it was actually divided into several factions. Everyone has a ghost. Nagato, Conan are a faction whose purpose is to collect tail beasts, make tail beast weapons, and maintain world peace. Obito and Kisame are the same group. The purpose is to collect tail beasts, become 10 tails Jinchuriki, and launch infinite Tsukuyomi. Uchiha Madara, who is behind the scenes, is in the same group for the time being. He is responsible for monitoring Obito and executing Project Tsuki no Mi by himself. And Orochimaru, he doesn't care about these at all. But this time, the one who summoned Uchiha Madara, there is no doubt that he must be 24. Obviously, someone is under pressure. All this can only be known by seeing Orochimaru. Qianyu is Hokage after all. The information in hand is countless. Coupled with the information on the roots and Anbu obtained after the previous eradication of Danzo and Sarutobi Hiruzen, several Orochimaru's lairs were quickly locked. Of course, Orochimaru is not a fool. The so-called Cunning Rabbit 3 caves, most of the previous secret bases have been abandoned by him. Qianyu dispatched ninjas from Japan and Moon to investigate, and most of them were just people going to empty buildings. Occasionally a few people were still there, but they were just a few soldiers, and they were quickly cleaned up. Qianyu knew that it was not a simple matter to find Orochimaru. After all, this guy, although the combat effectiveness is average, of course, this is generally relative to the current Qianyu, but he has an immortal body, and has the highest level of scientific research in the entire ninja world. Coupled with his cunning and scheming, it is not difficult to defeat him, but to kill him. It's so difficult. 10 days later, Qianyu still had no gain. Until, on this day, he actually received news from Jiraiya. When he was wandering around, he ran into a member of the Moon by chance and conveyed the news to Qianyu. And the goal, it is for Orochimaru. Qianyu was overjoyed and immediately read the news from Jiraiya. The first good news is, he has found Tsunade. The only female ninja in Sannin, Tsunade-ji, known as the medical master, was finally caught by Jiraiya on the spot in a casino. Tsunade is not completely obsessed with Konoha's dynamics. Even after the death of 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, he still thought about going back to Konoha village to inquire about the intelligence, and even thought about revenge for him. But when she figured out the whole story, she was frustrated again and didn't want to do it anymore. Because, Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind, she is not completely ignorant. Although he is his own teacher, Tsunade is not unaware of his desire for power, his greed for Hokage's position, and some of the things he did secretly. She left the village, there may not be some reasons for this. Moreover, she has also heard about the Konoha village under Qianyu's governance, knowing that he is not only a careerist, but a very qualified Hokage. Therefore, she didn't bother to think about revenge. However, Jiraiya still found it. After the two talked, especially Jiraiya told her about the grandfather Senju Hashirama, the battle with Jiraiya himself and Qianyu, after the current situation of Konoha village. Tsunade also understands that he is the Tsunade of Konoha village after all. After the two hit it off, the first plan they made was looking for Orochimaru. Although the two seem to have left Konoha village and travel around the world without questioning the world, they are actually watching secretly. Especially this former best friend and companion. Orochimaru. Especially Jiraiya. He immediately investigated with Tsunade and investigated more than a dozen secret bases in Orochimaru, and finally found a clue. So, he communicated the news to Qianyu through the moon. After Qianyu received the news, he hurried over. Finally. I finally arrived in the country of Tien, in a wilderness outside of Odonan village. There is another secret lair in Orochimaru. When Qianyu arrived, he saw a scene that he even missed a little. Sannin confronts. The legendary Konoha Sannin is now in a triangular formation, facing each other. Jiraiya and Tsunade obviously formed an alliance to find an explanation for this betrayal of Konoha. Orochimaru was obviously not afraid at all. The expression on his face is very playful. Jiraiya, Princess Tsunade, it's been a long time since I saw you. Tsunade sneered, Orochimaru, you betrayed the village, can you still say hello to us with such a smile? Orochimaru gave a dark smile. You two have left Konoha village in the same way. I thought that you, like me, chose a free position. Jiraiya said calmly. Orochimaru, what you have done has deviated from the right way. It is not just a betrayal of Konoha village, now you. Have you joined that organization? It's named, Shao. Orochimaru smiled. As expected of Jiraiya, the information is still so accurate. Yes, I joined Akatsuki. Why, you two are also interested. I believe Akatsuki must welcome both of you very much. Tsunade said angrily, Jiraiya, don't have to tell him so much, he is completely crazy. Just do it. Orochimaru's face changed. It's still so violent, Tsunade. However, since you want to do it, of course I am willing to accompany you too. It's just that, Tsunade, you have a panic attack, and you haven't done anything for so many years, do you really still have the fighting power of the year? Orochimaru suddenly drew out the Kusunora's sword, and he slammed his palm directly. A bloodline shot out instantly. Asterisk at caret asterisk dollar asterisk caret. Tsunade's heart beats. The whole person's face was instantly pale, without blood. Orochimaru laughed and said, sure enough, there is no cure for your panasemia. Kimimaro, Yukushi Kabuto. Yes, Lord Orochimaru. Tsunade and the woman behind her will be handed over to you too. As for Jiraiya, I want to play with him myself. Yes. Suddenly, in front of the secret base of Orochimaru, murderous intent was permeated. The fighting spirit is boiling. The legendary Sannin battle is about to start. Chapter 119. Advertise here. The battle between Jiraiya and Orochimaru began immediately. Two people can be said to be each other's former companions. It is similar to Naruto Sasuke. But now, it is the real enemy. The array of 10,000 snakes. Orochimaru sneered, and suddenly activated his signature ninjutsu. In an instant, thousands of snake shadows rushed out frantically, attacking Jiraiya like a tide. Jiraiya snapped his hands together. Fire style. Great flame bomb. Jiraiya spit out toad oil violently, and together with his powerful fire style, burst out a terrifying hot flame. In an instant, countless snakes were buried in the sea of fire. Snake stepping. Orochimaru immediately summoned two huge snakes again, biting towards Jiraiya from the left and right sides. Jiraiya sneered. Chaotic lion hair technique. Boom. A long white hair shot out in an instant, directly bound the two snakes, strangling one by one. Hiss. The two giant snakes roared, banged, and disappeared at the same time. Orochimaru, is it still these ninjutsu? These alone can't deal with me. Orochimaru smiled yinly. Yes. In that case, Jiraiya, let me show you something new. And the other side, Tsunade and Shizune are facing each other. Orochimaru is the strongest and Yamato's two most trusted subordinates. Kimimaro and Yukushi Kabuto. If Tsunade really exerts his strength, he will not be afraid of these two people at all. However, at this moment, when she saw the blood shot, she suddenly began to tremble with fear. Yukushi Kabuto gave a sneer, and immediately stabbed in his hand. In an instant, Shizune flew forward and stopped Yukushi Kabuto. However, on the other side, Kimimaro has already pulled out a bone spear and stabs it again towards Tsunade. Tsunade. Jiraiya couldn't help but screamed out. However, the Tsunade at this moment is completely incapable of alleviating it, and he is still immersed in fear. At this moment, laugh. With a sound, a figure was blocked in front of him. It's Jiraiya. But a Kusunora's sword pierced through Jiraiya's chest, piercing the entire body, and into the back. Above that sword body, there is bloodline. Jiraiya's bloodline. Since, Jiraiya, quote exclamation mark quote. Tsunade was shocked suddenly, and wailed out. Jiraiya, asshole Orochimaru. Now, Jiraiya can be said to be her only spiritual sustenance. The lover has passed away, the younger brother has also died, the teacher has also been killed. Except for Jiraiya, she has no other friends. But now, Jiraiya was directly pierced by the Kusunoru's sword in front of her eyes, covered in blood. Anger, hatred, despair. Even at this moment, it broke through all other fears. Tsunade roared and blasted out with a punch. Boom. Weird as unparalleled. With one blow, the Kusunoru's sword broke. However, the scene before her eyes changed, but it was not Kusunoru's sword that broke, but Bone Spear. It was illusion. Master Tsunade, you. Shizune was so surprised, but immediately surprised by Tsunade. She actually overcome her fear of blood. Power broke out again. But what is going on? But at this moment, taking advantage of Shizune's distraction, Yukushi Kabuto made a blood mark on her shoulder with one blow. Blood shot again. Tsunade was furious. Boy, do you dare to hurt my disciple? Boom. Another punch came out suddenly. Yukushi Kabuto was taken aback, and immediately flew back, but was still rubbed by Tsunade's strange power. Just wiped it. However, he felt severe pain in half of his body instantly, as if he had been severely injured. What a terrifying weird power. Yukushi Kabuto and Kimimaro stepped back to one place, both a little afraid. Once the weakness of phobia is restored, Tsunade is after all one of the Sanins on par with Orochimaru-sama. At this moment, it is not the two of them can deal with. But, what is she? Even Orochimaru and Jiraiya couldn't help turning their heads to look at Tsunade. Jiraiya frowned and said, Tsunade, your phobia. Tsunade was also wondering. I seem to have been caught in an illusion just now. But that illusion is, help me get rid of Panasemia. A move in her heart. Who is it that turned out to be illusionary in order to help himself? This person, of course, is Qianyu. He saw Tsunade being besieged by two young men, but couldn't help but sighed. Illusion was activated with Mangekyo Sharingan. Let Tsunade see Jiraiya being pierced by Orochimaru's Kusunoru's sword. It is to use blood to stimulate her, but let her inspire new power. This trick really worked. Tsunade has regained his former strength for the sake of his last friend Jiraiya. Although Tsunade didn't understand, once she regained her strength, Haki was born suddenly. Let Yukushi Kabuto and Kimimaro feel awe-inspiring and dare not act rashly. Tsunade immediately helped Shizune heal the injury. Afterwards, strode forward and looked at the two young men. Diaresis, nice young man, Orochimaru, your vision has improved. It's a pity, with the two of them, you dare to do something with me. Still too naive. Weird power. It hurts my feet. Boom. Tsunade didn't even need to get close to the two of them, just stomping on the ground 100 meters away. Burst out his own horror power. Painful. Rumble. Rumble. The whole earth began to shake. The power of terror caused the whole earth to burst out, and a wave of terrifying coercion burst out. Kimimaro immediately resisted with the bone-hardening technique. And Yukushi Kabuto, before he was attacked, was already using medical ninjutsu treatment. But it's a pity. In the face of Tsunade's attack, the two still couldn't resist. Boom. Boom. Both of them were blasted out suddenly, and hit the rock wall fiercely, spitting out a mouthful of blood. Orochimaru's heart moved. Get Li Jiao as this guy Tsunade actually regaining his strength. It's a bit tricky to deal with two Sanins by one person. Tsunade strode forward and stood with Jiraiya. Although Orochimaru felt a little flustered, he was not afraid. I really miss it. I didn't expect the three of us to get together again. Jiraiya sighed. It's a pity that it has become a hostile position now. Tsunade slammed his fist. Don't talk nonsense with him, Jiraiya. Just beat him down and preach. Good. However, at this moment, Orochimaru sneered. You too, don't you think that you have won, right? Snapped. He put his hands together. Forbidden technique. Impure world reincarnation. Suddenly, the earth roared, and a huge coffin rose from the ground. After the coffin was opened, a figure appeared from it to order. Surprised both Jiraiya and Tsunade. Chapter 120. Advertise here. This is. Jiraiya's eyes widened suddenly. And Tsunade was also taken aback. Old, teacher. Correct. From Orochimaru Impure World Reincarnation Summoning, it is third Hokage, Sanin's teacher. Sarutobi Hiruzen. Orochimaru laughed wildly. Yes, it is Mr. Sarutobi. How about, Jiraiya, Tsunade, am I good to you too? Let your masters and apprentices be reunited, and have a good talk. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Jiraiya and Tsunade. It's you too. He looked back at Orochimaru again. Did you summoning me again? Orochimaru sneered. Teacher, do you know that your two most trusted disciples are now Uchiha Qianyu? Sarutobi Hiruzen's face suddenly changed. What did you say? Jiraiya, Tsunade, you too. Jiraiya and Tsunade were silent. Sarutobi Hiruzen was furious. Orochimaru betrayed himself. It's just that he has extreme temperament and is obsessed with scientific research. He even experimented with ninjas from Konoha village on human subjects. As Hokage, it is impossible to tolerate it. But, Tsunade and Jiraiya, these two people, obviously they were killed by Uchiha Qianyu, they didn't avenge themselves, but wanted to take refuge in the enemy. Sarutobi Hiruzen roared, Tsunade, Jiraiya. Not only didn't you two help me take revenge, did you actually take refuge in that kid from the Uchiha clan? Do you treat your mentor like this? Jiraiya was silent for a moment. Although he had made a decision long ago, he couldn't be confident in the face of the teacher. And Tsunade is the same. She sighed. Teacher, I know the battle between Uchiha Qianyu and you very well. The more fault lies in the teacher's prejudice towards the Uchiha clan. Of course, there is also the teacher's desire for power that you can't give up. Uchiha Qianyu, he is just for the safety of his tribe, and he is only fighting back. There is nothing wrong with it. As for the various major events that sensationalized the entire ninja world after he became Hokage, it is even more admirable. Today he, commanding Konoha village, has already become the recognized leader of the ninja world. And Konoha village is also thriving, and it is unprecedentedly strong. If the teacher is also proud of the name Hokage, shouldn't he also be proud of Konoha? Sarutobi Hiruzen was furious. Tsunade, have you also been brainwashed by the kid from the Uchiha clan? Very well, in that case, I will clean the door myself today. For a time, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Orochimaru, Tsunade and Jiraiya. The four of the two sides stood in confrontation, facing each other far away. Jiraiya and Tsunade looked at each other. And Orochimaru is already very difficult to deal with. What's more, added a Sarutobi Hiruzen. Most importantly, Sarutobi Hiruzen of Impure World Reincarnation. In this state, he has increased 10 times and 100 times more than his combat power during his lifetime. Sarutobi Hiruzen sneered and said, Orochimaru, today I would like to thank you for bringing me out of Impure World Reincarnation and let me clean the door myself. In this battle, I must teach these two traitors who were brainwashed by Qianyu's kid. Jiraiya and Tsunade's hearts suddenly stunned. However, just here it is. A figure instantly appeared in the middle of the four. Suddenly, but it seems to be taken for granted. As if he was there. Oh, you said, who do you want to teach? Old stuff. Of course it was. Uchiha Qianyu, Master Hokage. It's him. Both Jiraiya and Tsunade were taken aback. And Orochimaru is even more pale. He fought a battle with Uchiha Qianyu. Although at that time, it was shown that the organization was full, but still suffered heavy losses, and he was beaten to a terrible level. Orochimaru now has a huge psychological shadow on Uchiha Qianyu. Not to mention Sarutobi Hiruzen. Seeing Qianyu's figure appear, he suddenly became so angry that he was full of smoke. It's you again, a lingering man. Qianyu sneered. Old stuff. They are dead and they are coming out to make trouble. It's obviously you who stay in the shadows. Tsunade's heart moved. Did you cure my phobia just now by using illusions? Qianyu turned his head slightly and glanced at her. He smiled and said, you're welcome. Tsunade's heart suddenly moved. The gratitude is beyond words. Thanks. Qianyu turned around, staring at Sarutobi Hiruzen, approaching step by step. Sarutobi Hiruzen was taken aback. What are you going to do? Of course he knows that even in the Impure World Reincarnation state, he is definitely not this man's opponent. Instead, every time I have to be humiliated to death. Boom. Qianyu didn't pay any attention at all, and immediately flew forward. Snapped. A slap once again slapped Sarutobi Hiruzen's old face fiercely. Boom. With this blow, half of his head was blown away. However, he is the body of Impure World Reincarnation, and soon began to recover frantically. However, Qianyu would not give him this opportunity. Snapped. With another slap, the face on the other side was slapped directly. Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth had just recovered, and he immediately roared, you. Boom. Qianyu hit directly and knocked his entire head away. Then, a palm snapped out. Sealing techniques. In an instant, Sarutobi Hiruzen was completely sealed for action, unable to move, even unable to speak. Old stuff, it's not safe after death. Stay honestly. Qianyu slapped Sarutobi Hiruzen of Impure World Reincarnation with 2 slaps. He was so angry that he jumped within 5 times. However, he couldn't even move and couldn't speak. Can only stand there, humiliated to death. Moreover, in front of 3 disciples and many other ninjas. This made Sarutobi Hiruzen almost fainted with anger. Orochimaru started to feel guilty. He smiled slightly. What a Uchiha Qianyu, he is still so Haki. Qianyu walked towards him. Orochimaru, what am I asking, you answer honestly. Otherwise, the old guy Sarutobi Hiruzen is your end. Don't think that if you have the spell seal, you can resurrect indefinitely. I can assure you that you can kill all of your people who planted the spell seal, so that you will never be resurrected. Orochimaru's face changed suddenly. He even knew his biggest secret. The one who made you Impure World Reincarnation out of Uchiha Madara. However, he did not dare to resist. Qianyu said coldly, stop talking nonsense. Now, I ask, you say. And what's more terrifying is, who is it, you? After all, he can regenerate infinitely. But Qianyu's real throat was strangled. He can really do it. What he fears most is death. For a while, Orochimaru was truly panicked. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. But now, However, in the entire ninja realm, no one is closer to immortality than him. Qianyu asked coldly. The first question. Orochimaru believed that this man's words were not intimidation. Orochimaru lowered his head, his face was extremely gloomy. Therefore, even if he faced the existence of pain, the leader of the Akatsuki organization, although he was in awe, he was not so afraid. Chapter 121. Advertise here. Orochimaru was terrified in his heart, but tried to keep calm on his face. Oh, do you really want to know this? Qianyu said coldly. Say. Orochimaru sneered. It's nothing to tell you. Anyway, my interest in that organization is almost exhausted. That's a man who looks like a dark shadow. Qianyu's heart suddenly moved. A dark man. Sure enough, is it Black Zetsu? Black Zetsu, in name, is a creature created by Uchiha Madara with his own will. And White Zetsu, together form the must of Akatsuki. In Uchiha Madara's eyes, White Zetsu is a creature grown from Senju Hashirama cells in the Gedo statue. And Black Zetsu is the embodiment of his own will. He combined the two and turned into this existence to monitor the progress of Uchiha Obito's resurrection. Of course, in fact, White Zetsu is a puppet made by the world that Kagaya swallowed by infinite Tsukuyomi. And Black Zetsu, Kagaya's third son, has been fighting silently to resurrect his mother. If Uchiha Obito can follow Uchiha Madara's script, it should never be so fast. The only possibility is, Obito has deviated from Madara's plan. To verify this, Qianyu asked immediately. The second question, what is the leader of Akatsuki's organization Pen doing? Orochimaru said, of course he is running around to capture the tail beast. However, he was going to Cloud Shinobi village to capture Eight Tails Jinchuriki directly, but he was stopped by another force. Qianyu suddenly realized. No wonder Eight Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee is still alive. You know, although Pain went to Yunlei Gorge, Killer Bee was not there, but just because he is hiding in Cloud Shinobi village, will Pain give up? Pain dared to go to Konoha village and directly capture the existence of Nine Tails. What is the defense of Cloud Shinobi village to him? So, it's not that Thunder Country's defense against Killer Bee is at all, it's because Pain was stopped. And this person, there is no doubt that it is Uchiha Obito. Obito has his own consideration, he doesn't want to collect all the tail beasts too early and resurrect Uchiha Madara. However, what he did was obviously never discovered. It's not as powerful as Uchiha Obito. But he also has his own means. He immediately guided Orochimaru, found the body of Uchiha Madara, and controlled Orochimaru with spiritual fusion, forcibly letting him launch Impure World Reincarnation and resurrect Uchiha Madara. Once Uchiha Madara was resurrected, of course he was furious when he heard of Uchiha Obito's betrayal. He immediately shot himself and decided to catch Eight Tails Jinchuriki himself. Then, just before the Five Shadows Conference, Uchiha Madara raided the venue. What is the Five Shadows Conference for Uchiha Madara? There is nothing he can't get at all. Unfortunately. He counted thousands of dollars, but he didn't expect Qianyu's existence. After a fierce battle, he was defeated by Qianyu. With his arrogant nature, he had to retreat temporarily and start another plan. It's what happened before. Although Orochimaru's words were not clear enough, based on Qianyu's understanding of the whole story, the fundamental purpose of each character was quickly conjectured. Qianyu shook his head and put aside these for now. Third, tell me all the techniques and mysteries of Impure World Reincarnation. Orochimaru's face changed. Qianyu said coldly. I'm not interested in this kind of ninjutsu playing with life, but I can't be defenseless. Although Orochimaru was extremely unwilling, but also helpless. I had to tell Qianyu all the mysteries of Impure World Reincarnation I had studied. Qianyu took the scroll of Impure World Reincarnation and put it away temporarily. Orochimaru said helplessly, now, can we part ways? Qianyu said coldly, parting ways. Have I said to let you go? Orochimaru suddenly sneered, is that so? In that case, I had to fight. He immediately sneered. Summoning. Giant snake. In an instant, a huge snake appeared under Orochimaru. Jiraiya and Tsunade also sneered. Orochimaru, don't you think that you can be my opponent, Tsunade, and Hokage-sama alone? It's too naive. Orochimaru sneered. Jiraiya. I think you are the naive person, right? Boom. With a sound, Orochimaru and the huge snake under his feet disappeared at the same time. Jiraiya was taken aback. This is reverse summoning technique. Find flowers. Tsunade suddenly said. It turns out that he didn't summon the giant snake to fight, but to reverse summoning to another space. Jiraiya said in a deep voice, Raichi Cave, one of the three fascinating magical realms, right? It won't be easy this time. Qianyu said calmly. It's nothing. He looked at Kimimaro and Yakushi Kabuto on the side. The two were shocked. What are you going to do? Even if Orochimaru is there, it is definitely not as good as Qianyu's case. Let alone at the moment, there are only two of them. Qianyu didn't say much. Mangekyo Sharingan whirled slightly. Yakushi Kabuto was immediately controlled by illusion. Summoning. Big Snake. Yakushi Kabuto immediately also summoning out of Raichi Cave's Big Snake. Both Jiraiya and Tsunade also understood what he meant. Dot 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 dot. The trio and Shizune immediately stood on top of Orochi's head. Reverse summoning. Qianyu immediately used Sharingan to control the snake, with a bang. The four people and the big snake disappeared in place at the same time. Dot dot dot. In the next moment, the four of them have come to a secret realm. It is one of the three secret realms of the inheritance of immortality that is as famous as Mount Myoboku, Wetbone Forest. Raichi Cave. In fact, Qianyu looked for Orochimaru this time. Apart from the news, there was another reason. That is Raichi Cave, his sign in system, the next refreshed destination. It is Raichi Cave, but without Orochimaru, Qianyu wouldn't even know where Raichi Cave is. Therefore, at this moment, according to Raichi Cave's summoning technique, Qianyu finally arrived here smoothly. Jiraiya and Tsunade were also very curious about seeing Raichi Cave for the first time. Although the two people also have the inheritance of the three secret realms, Raichi Cave has never been there. As this Raichi Cave, what a ghastly breath, Jiraiya couldn't help frowning slightly. Tsunade was also awe-inspiring and didn't dare to act rashly. Shizune behind, and the piggy dolphin she was holding in her arms, had long been trembling with fright. Only Qianyu was alone, even with a little smile. Ding dong. Congratulations to host for signing into the new check-in point. One of the three great fairyland. Raichi Cave. Qianyu was overjoyed at once, and finally successfully signed in again. This time, I don't know how many great rewards I will get. Scholar. Chapter 122. Advertise here. Ding dong. Congratulations to host for signing into the new refresh location Raichi Cave. Congratulations to host for getting the following rewards. Qianyu was overjoyed and immediately checked. The first one is. The progress of Mangekyo Sharingan has increased by 10% again. Today, it has risen to 80%. The power of the left eye cloth Du Yuhun doubled again. The ability of the right eye Gao Tianyuan can be teleported and exchanged 8 times. The interval has been shortened to just 10 seconds. And the Supreme Profound Susanoo, which can only be activated by Mangekyo Sharingan with both eyes, has once again skyrocketed in power. Although he did not evolve to the ultimate complete body Susanoo, his body is even bigger and incomparable. In addition to the Thunder Spear, Yata Mirror, and Yusaka Guyu, the fourth form Susanoo's unique chakra sword. Susanoo's sword. Mangekyo Sharingan is only one step away from the true eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Although eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, for the ordinary Uchiha clan, in addition to enhancing the power of pupils, the more important thing is eternal immortality, without the trouble that Mangekyo Sharingan would be blind. However, as far as Qianyu is concerned, he, who has the first generation sage body, has never had this worry at all. Certainly, after evolving to eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, all of his strength will skyrocket, resulting in a qualitative leap. This is still worth looking forward to. And, Qianyu also understands that when his Mangekyo Sharingan evolves to eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, that's when you really turn on Susanoo. At that time, let alone other things, a complete body of Susanoo alone will be enough to sweep the entire ninja world. And the second reward is. The first generation sage body template has evolved again and increased by 10%. Today, it has reached 90%. In other words, there is no difference at all from the real Senju Hashirama. And the power of his various wood-style secret techniques has instantly improved a lot again. Of course, the most important thing is the third reward. First generation item Sage Mode Template, 20% evolution. Directly from 30% to 50%. What does this mean? Qianyu before released his nirvana, and when he pretended to be the Buddha, he also needed Susanoo's chakra to cover the Buddha, above Shinsu Senju. After all, once he releases this trick, he will face two hunks like Uchiha Madara besides Senju Hashirama. My own sage body template is not as good as Senju Hashirama, and Susanoo is not as good as Uchiha Madara after all. Therefore, it is necessary to merge the two together to defeat the two. But now, as his sage mode has improved again, Qianyu believes that even if he doesn't need to pretend to be sage, relying solely on the power of wood style, thunder fruit and sage mode, he can still contend against any of them. Mangekyo Sharingan. First generation sage body template. First generation sage mode template. Once the three major rewards arrived, Qianyu's power skyrocketed again in an instant. Confirmed by host. Does it incorporate rewards? Confirm. Suddenly, rumble. The power of terror skyrocketed crazily in an instant, and Qianyu's body seemed to be bursting. Fortunately, his power was already strong enough. It was just a moment to change to another person. I was afraid that it would explode directly. Mangekyo Sharingan and Sage body templates have been upgraded. When Qianyu merged with Sage mode, in an instant, the entire Raichi cave was full of terrifying natural energy, and it was swallowed by him crazily in an instant. That is, both Jiraiya and Tsunade immediately noticed that the terrifying natural energy seemed to have turned into a storm. It also seems to be a raging tide above the sea, and the center of the entire huge wave is Uchiha Qianyu. He is madly devouring the natural energy of Raichi cave. On the one hand, Jiraiya was shocked by the horror of Qianyu's sage mode, but on the other hand, he was secretly worried. Master Hokage, it is very dangerous for you to devour natural energy like this crazy. It is very likely that it will not be able to control it, and it will cause the body to be alienated and even die directly. Qianyu said calmly. It's okay, I'm sure. Joke. His body is the sage body for first generation. What's more, there is the ultimate Mangekyo Sharingan of the Uchiha clan. If he can't contain and manipulate chakra, the natural energy, then no one can do it. Rumble, rumble, the entire Raichi cave is turned upside down. The terrifying natural energy poured out madly. The countless large snakes and small snakes in the entire Raichi cave were all shocked and shocked. What happened? Why is natural energy pouring out frantically? Who is practicing immortal art? There is such a terrifying power. Difficult, is it the old man of the white snake immortal? All of a sudden, the many snakes who were practicing immortal art were all shaken, trembling inquiries, and talking. At the same time, Orochimaru, who had just been reversed summoning to Raichi cave and thought he had escaped, was even more shocked. This chakra is Uchiha Qianyu. He actually chased Raichi cave. Doesn't he know that this is one of the 3 secret realms, and there is only one dead end for trespassers? The huge snake summoned by Orochimaru was also stunned by the wild and surging natural energy at this time, and fell into a frenzy. What happened? Quickly, report to Fairy White Snake. The entire Raichi cave was suddenly chaotic. But Uchiha Qianyu, who was at the center of the storm, turned a deaf ear to his ears, and was indifferent. But he was overjoyed in his heart. He felt that his sage mode was growing wildly. Originally, relying on Raichi cave to sign in, his sage mode has increased by a full 20%, reaching as much as 50%. But now, with the help of Raichi cave's ultimate natural energy, Qianyu swallowed and merged. The progress of sage mode is increasing frantically. 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%, 10%. In just a moment, Qianyu's sage mode increased by 10%. What's the sign in? As long as you practice here, you can turn sage mode to full level in one day. Qianyu was overjoyed and continued to devour it frantically. 15%, 18%, 20%. Soon after, his sage mode has increased by 2.7 and 20%. Reached the 70% level. Moreover, it is still improving madly. However, one trades at one time. However, just when he was about to push sage mode directly to the top. It's a huge white snake sage. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Finally dispatched. 40%, 35%, 30%. The natural energy of the entire Raichi cave is being swallowed and disappeared madly. A voice came coldly, interrupting his continued devouring. At this moment, Qianyu's sage mode has directly increased to 90%. 25%. Stop. White Snake Fairy almost reached the pinnacle level. Of course Qianyu wouldn't pay any attention to this, and continued to devour it frantically. It's Lord of Raichi Cave. It is as famous as the Katsuyu Fairy of the Wetbone Forest, the Great Toad Sage of Mount Myoboku. Chapter 123. Advertise here. Stop. White Snake Sage roared instantly, spitting out a terrifying chakra. Blasted at Qianyu fiercely. Qianyu lifted his hand casually, and it was also bombarded by a terrifying fairy technique chakra. Rumble. When the two collided, they suddenly exploded in all directions at the same time, shaking the entire Raichi cave to the ground. Qianyu's sage mode was disturbed, so he had to quit temporarily. He couldn't help being furious. Sage mode, which could have evolved to a perfect level, was interrupted by this old snake. White Snake Sage, the White Snake Immortal glanced at Qianyu. Who are you? Dare to break into Raichi Cave, and dare to swallow the natural energy in Raichi Cave so madly. Jiraiya smiled slightly. This is our Lord 4th Hokage from Konoha village. Uchiha Qianyu. The White Snake Fairy moved in his heart. So you are the Uchiha Qianyu. Qianyu sneered. I didn't expect the White Snake Fairy to also know about the shinobi world. Immortal White Snake also sneered. I have lived for thousands of years. Although your so-called ninja world is very boring, I am afraid there is nothing I don't know yet. Only, Uchiha Qianyu, how unscrupulous you are in the ninja world, I don't care, but. You dare to come to 24 US Raichi Cave to be presumptuous, don't blame me for being ruthless. Qianyu sneered. Oh, I want to see, why are you ruthless? Behind the fairy white snake, a figure immediately appeared. At the forefront are the legendary 3 elders of Raichi Cave. Tien Shin Shenji, Aikikishima Haim, Tanjin Ji. These 3 are the top leaders in charge of the entire Raichi Cave. And every ninja who came to Raichi Cave to learn celestial arts would also be intercepted by the 3 of them. With the 3-level test as an obstacle, any level that fails to pass will be swallowed directly. However, even after passing all the relevant cards and seeing the White Snake Immortal, it can't prove anything. The White Snake Fairy will use his own bite on those who pass the level. Infuse Raichi Cave's special natural energy magic chakra into his body. Once he can't bear it, he will also be swallowed directly into his stomach. And even if you can bear it, it will be difficult to leave Raichi Cave anymore. Therefore, there is an unwritten rule in the ninja world. If you want to go to Raichi Cave to practice celestial arts, that is a choice that only a madman who is not afraid of death can make. And behind the white snake immortal, behind the three elders, there are also many other large and small snakes, there are simply too many to count. But among them, there is no giant snake produced by Orochimaru summoning. Thinking about it, he has already seen the situation as bad, and he doesn't know where he is hiding. The white snake fairy was furious and roared, "Kill me the humans who trespassed in Ryochi Cave." Yes, fairy white snake. In an instant, the three elders broke out their own attacks at the same time. They are directly hidden in the entire Ryochi Cave. Disappear. It is the unique ability of the three elders, invisibility. And it's not just ordinary invisibility, it's the highest level of invisibility that even chakra can't be perceived. Jiraiya and Tsunade suddenly moved in their hearts. But Qianyu sneered, "Since you want to die, then I will fulfill you. Dare to do it to me. This Ryochi Cave, let it die today." Jiraiya immediately opened the sky cover barrier. Perceive all the space to move. On the other hand, Tsunade spreads chakra all over, defending against enemy surprise attacks at any time. But the attention of those three elders was completely on Qianyu's body. Kill. Suddenly, the three elders emerged from the void at the same time, as if suddenly appeared behind Qianyu. Suddenly each displayed their own nirvana. Bite. Devour. Bondage. These three elders bite down fiercely one by one. It is directly devouring all of Qianyu's chakra. One is to use sharp teeth to bite Qianyu's neck violently. Once bitten, he will be immediately restrained and unable to move. At the same time, various illusions will appear, crushing people's willpower. Die. The three elders roared at the same time. However, at this moment, small bugs, dare to show off in front of me. Boom. Qianyu directly broke out a powerful chakra. Summon Susanoo directly, and it is Susanoo in the fourth form. Rumble. The whole Ryochi Cave began to roar. The attack of the three elders was directly hit by Susanoo and flew back at the same time. What? Three screams came, and the three elders were severely thrown on the rock wall of Ryochi Cave. For a while, dizzy and unconscious. What? This is Susanoo. What a powerful force. Fairy White Snake was taken aback. However, her movements are very fast. Entangling. Suddenly, her main body, White Snake Sage, spread out in an instant, entwining the entire Susanoo in the middle. Moreover, it is starting to devour Susanoo's chakra frantically. Court death. Qianyu sneered. In an instant, the black thunder and blaze of the Pudu Yuhun spread all over Susanoo. Hiss. The terrifying thunder and flames instantly encased the White Snake immortal. What? The White Snake fairy screamed, but immediately isolated his body with a fairy technique. Hiss. Those thunder and blazing fires fell to the ground together with chakra, the fairy technique. Qianyu's heart moved slightly, and he was able to defend his Pudu Yuhun. Afterwards, he took a closer look, only to find that it was White Snake Sage who had shed a whole layer of skin. Snake shedding technique. So that's it, have you shed your skin? Although this trick can defend Qianyu's technique, every shedding takes a huge amount of strength, even vitality. Fairy White Snake couldn't help being furious. Come on with me, kill him. Rumble. All of a sudden, the entire group of snakes, large and small, in Ryochi Cave began to attack wildly. Qianyu sneered. I really don't know how to live or die. Pudu Yuhun. The black thunder and fire roared out instantly. When it fell to the ground, it became a black sea of fire in an instant. I don't know how many snakes, big and small, were smashed and broken by the thunder in an instant, and the flames burned out. And the larger ones rushed directly towards Susanoo. Susanoo of Qianyu, a huge thunder spear appeared instantly. Sweep away fiercely. Laugh. In an instant, the three big snakes were directly broken into two pieces. Another stab. Just stabbed two larger snakes through. The black thunder and flames spread instantly, turning all the snakes into coke and annihilating them in ashes. But more snakes are still coming in madly, like a sea of snakes. In that case, Qianyu's Susanoo instantly doubled again. The thunder spear was retracted in his hand, but two huge Susanoo swords were conjured. In the same way, the black thunder fire was also entangled, and it slashed down with a slash. Wow. Like falling flowers and flowing water, in an instant, the surging group of snakes will be cut to pieces, falling apart and falling apart. I don't know how many groups of snakes, thousands of them, died under this blow in an instant. In the entire Ryochi Cave, there was sudden silence. All the snakes began to tremble. Chapter 124. Advertise here. At this moment, the three elders finally recovered and were no longer invisible, but directly activated another great secret technique. Float. Soaring directly, he slammed and bites towards Qianyu's huge Susanoo's body. Sage Art. Snake Mist. The three elders simultaneously spit out a horrible poisonous mist that contained extremely poison. Hiss. The entire Susanoo seemed to have been eroded, making a terrifying sound. Poison Fog. Qianyu sneered. Above Susanoo's shell, black thunder flames appeared instantly. Shit. With a sound, all the poisonous mist was evaporated. Damn it. What kind of trick is that? Even the poisonous mist can evaporate and burn. The three elders roared, just as they were about to continue their attack. Where would Qianyu allow them to continue to be presumptuous? Die. He is just one word, death. Susanoo in his hand suddenly slashed out fiercely. Rumble. The whole Raichi cave is shaking. Boom. With a sword out, the Great Elder Tangenji of Raichi cave immediately broke into two halves and died violently. Great Elder. Numerous snakes roared suddenly. The other two elders were even more furious and continued to attack. Susanoo waved again in Qianyu's hand, and the sharp cold light shot out instantly. Like a devil showing his fangs. Hiss. With a sound, the two remaining elder snakes also broke into two at the same time. The black thunder fire filled the body, and soon turned into coke, and disappeared in ashes. The three elders all fell in an instant. The white snake fairy was furious. You are looking for death. Sage art. Inorganic rebirth. In an instant, he launched his strongest fairy technique. In an instant, the entire Raichi cave seemed to come alive. The earth began to tremble. The cave, the stone, and the earth all seemed to have turned into a terrifying monster, and they slammed down Qianyu's Susanoo fiercely. Is it the legendary fairy technique, inorganic reincarnation? Quote. Terrorist moves that can give life to inorganic matter and attack the enemy. Unfortunately, Qianyu suddenly burst out his sage art for the first time. Rumble. Susanoo. Once again the power skyrocketed. This time, it's the true form of Shanshu Susanoo. Fairy. Plus the power of Susanoo. The overall power skyrocketed again in an instant. The horrible and huge Susanoo sword is attached with black thunder and fire, and now it is attached with the terrifying and vast celestial technique chakra, which immediately doubled again. Burst. Rumble. A loud noise. The two swords of Susanoo swung suddenly. The whole cave that was really crushed down towards Qianyu was cut into two pieces instantly. The land is cracked. Break the world. This is the strength of Qianyu at this moment. 6 paths is not out. Invincible. Boom. Another sword strikes down. The rock wall of Raichi cave fell apart in an instant. It broke and exploded. Boom. Qianyu's immortal technique form Susanoo slashed once again. Thousands of snakes disappeared instantly. The white snake fairy finally began to fear. Trembling. You. Qianyu sneered. What are you? Either surrender or die. A mortal white snake was furious, and immediately rushed forward again. Shanshu. Magic dragon technique. Rumble. A series of terrifying fairy techniques chakra soared wildly. In an instant, on the body of the white snake immortal, like Susanoo, a terrifying phantom appeared. As if a white dragon. Roar. Beilong roared fiercely, and roared up to the sky. Afterwards, he slammed out, and violently collided with Qianyu's Susanoo. This is the last nirvana of the white snake immortal. Qianyu sneered, do you really think you are a snake turned into a dragon? It's just a damn loach. Boom. The Susanoo sword in his hand suddenly slashed out. Boom. The white dragon was instantly slashed in the middle of his body. In an instant, after resisting for a moment, but no longer able to struggle, rumbling, the whole body was broken into two pieces. Thump. Thump. It fell directly on the ground. Seeing that his most powerful move was instantly defeated, the white snake fairy couldn't help but lose his soul. Retreat. He immediately gave orders, and he flew directly towards the depths of Raichi cave. Want to run? Dream. Qianyu's heart suddenly moved. Susanoo's huge body burst out a series of Yusaka Guyu. There are a total of 13. Connected in one place. Burst out. Rumble. Rumble. The entire Raichi cave is shaking again and again, shaking like crazy. Countless snakes died directly under the terrifying bombardment of Yusaka's Guyu. Even the white snake immortal who was fleeing all hit one, and the whole person screamed, but he broke his tail immediately and fled again. Diaresis. Chasing. Qianyu gave an order, and the 4 of them chased away immediately. Along the way, Qianyu used Susanoo, Jiraiya's various ninjutsu roars, and Tsunade's strange power impact, killing snakes like mowing grass, slaughtering the entire group of snakes in Raichi cave. Finally, Qianyu followed the chakra of the white snake immortal and pursued it. On the way, I encountered a scary red one-eyed monster. Qianyu knew that this snake was named Shinya, and it was the most violent giant snake in Raichi cave. But Qianyu didn't have time to pester him. Shinya was reluctant, and when he saw someone interrupting the pursuit, he immediately roared and spit out venom fiercely. Turn me all into stone. He roared, and the venom spewed out. Qianyu knew that this was his unique magic technique, which could spit out the venom, and once it was contaminated, it would be petrified. Although terrifying, Qianyu was not in the mood to pester him. The spear of thunder, the kings, swept out. The black thunder and flames turned all the venom into ashes in an instant, evaporating away. You are. Before Shinya finished speaking, Qianyu's thunder spear had already stabbed out fiercely. Pierce his whole body directly. Shinya was stunned for a moment, but found that his body had been surrounded by thunder and fire, slowly turning into ashes. Human, I want you to die. He roared, but finally was annihilated. Finally, a group of people passed through all the way and slaughtered the entire Raichi cave. Finally, came to the deepest part of Raichi cave. And here, there are not only the white snake fairy, but also Orochimaru they are pursuing. Qianyu sneered when facing the two people. Actually both are hidden here. That's right, just catch it all in one go. Acknowledge. Orochimaru, the white snake fairy. Today is the end of the two of you. Chapter 125. Advertise here. Orochimaru sighed. Fairy White Snake, I didn't expect to die with you today. The White Snake Fairy was furious. If it were not for you, would these people come to Raichi Cave? Orochimaru, you are a scourge. Orochimaru actually laughed. He clearly knew that he couldn't be Qianyu's opponent, this time he was dead, but he didn't have any fear. Fairy White Snake, you say that, I feel very honored. Orochimaru, won't be a waste of life if I can pull you back together. But, you shouldn't be ready to die, right? Let the two of us fight together for the last time and struggle to death. Fairy White Snake sneered, but he also knew what he could do. Orochimaru snapped his hands together. Baki technique. In an instant, he turned into a big snake. The White Snake Fairy also revealed his own body, and even directly displayed his strongest sage art. Sage art. Dragon transforming technique. A white dragon flew out again in an instant. Yaki Orochi. White Dragon Phantom. At the same time, they attacked Qianyu fiercely. Qianyu swung his double swords with Susanoo. Sage art form, Susanoo's sword. Howl. One of the heads of the Yaki Orochi was chopped off instantly. And the White Dragon Phantom also slammed into it fiercely, but there was no way to shake Susanoo. Boom. Instead, Qianyu's other great sword slashed down fiercely. With a bang, Bai Long was cut directly to the ground. Laugh. Qianyu's two swords of Susanoo swung by in an instant, and the 8 heads of the Yaki Orochi were slashed down one by one in an instant. In the end, the last snake head was also cut off. Orochimaru is transformed into a human form again. Panting, dying, and the phantom white dragon was also completely annihilated by the black thunder and fire, and soon turned into nothingness, disappearing into the invisible. For a moment, Orochimaru and the White Snake Fairy looked at each other, and they both saw despair in each other's eyes. Orochimaru looked at Jiraiya and Tsunade. He gave a wry smile. This is the end of the matter, you two, don't want to say something. How do you say, we are also Sannin who grew up together. Jiraiya sighed, Orochimaru, you have come to this step and you are completely responsible for it. I can't save you either. Tsunade also said, you use the ninjas of Konoha village to do human experiments, betray Konoha, and join Akatsuki. So many people from Impure World reincarnation turn against Konoha. Any one of them is a heinous crime. If I were Hokage, you would definitely die. I just hope that if you have your next life, you can reflect on your sins. Orochimaru laughed. In the next life, I don't believe in such things. Tsunade. Forget it, if that's the case, so be it. It's nothing more than, it's an end point. Hiss. Orochimaru suddenly turned into a snake shape, and bit towards Qianyu fiercely. The sword of Susanoo in Qianyu's hand slammed out. Boom. Orochimaru's body was directly broken. And the terrifying black thunder and fire completely burned his broken body into dust and ashes. Drifted away in the wind. Orochimaru. Die. Jiraiya and Tsunade looked at each other and couldn't help feeling deeply moved. And the White Snake Fairy on the other side. He also gave a long sigh. Unexpectedly, I would die in the hands of a kid like you. But, although I will die, the inheritance of Raichi Cave will not be extinct. Uchiha Qianyu, one day, Raichi Cave will descend into the ninja world again. At that time, there will naturally be descendants of Raichi Cave, and I will seek revenge against you again. Qianyu sneered. When death is imminent, there is so much nonsense. Boom. Slashing down with a sword, the White Snake Immortal also broke up. The thunder flame burned the white body, and it quickly turned into ashes. Fairy White Snake. Die. The group swept again, turning the entire Raichi Cave into ruins. But Qianyu, at this time, no one interrupted, once again practiced fairy skills. Although Raichi Cave has disappeared since then, but the rich natural energy still exists here. Qianyu immediately began to practice, devouring natural energy crazily, and soon. The practice that had just been interrupted was once again frantically improved. Originally, his sage mode has reached 90%, infinitely close to the most perfect limit. But now, no one is disturbed, there are 2 master guards, Jiraiya and Tsunade. Qianyu immediately started practicing with peace of mind. Jiraiya also knows how to immortal, and at the same time, she is practicing silently. 91%, 92%, 93%. Suddenly, the terrifying natural energy began to pour out crazily again, converging crazily towards the center of this huge Uzumaki, Qianyu. It seems that he is a huge black hole, devouring all natural energy. Jiraiya, who knows Sage Mode, feels. Qianyu's Sage Mode is more powerful than himself, I don't know how many times. At least, the speed and efficiency of devouring natural energy is 1,000 times greater. Of course, Jiraiya's Sage Mode is not perfect. According to Qianyu's speculation. If it is said that the master later became Naruto of Sage Mode, and the completion progress was about 80%. Then Jiraiya's Sage Mode may only be 60%. The help of 2 Toad Sages is still needed, and there will be a frog-like change in itself. This is the incomplete result of Sage Mode. The reason why Naruto is only 80% is also because of the 9 tails in his body at that time. It was not until later that he reached a settlement with 9 tails Kurama before he could use Shanshu and 9 tails chakra perfectly. That is what Uzumaki Naruto calls cross eyes. Fairy fox mode. And now, Qianyu is directly struggling towards the most perfect and culminating sage mode. 94%, 95%, 96%. Qianyu felt that because his chakra volume and sage body contained too much energy, it was indeed 10 times more difficult than ordinary people to complete the cultivation. He even felt that the natural energy in this Raichi cave began to become thinner. He doesn't want to swallow all natural energy, and he still hasn't completed the perfect version of sage mode. Devour. Devour. Crazy devouring. 97%, 98%, 99%. Finally, boom, 100%. Qianyu finally reached the perfect level of sage mode. From then on, he can enter sage mode anytime, anywhere, without the need for quiet practice and refinement, and he is not afraid of being disturbed by anything. Whether in a static state, in motion, or even in a combat state, you can quickly enter the perfect sage mode anytime, anywhere. Compared to first Hokage Senju Hashirama, there is nothing worse than it. 90% of Senju Hashirama sage body templates. 100% perfect sage mode. 80% of the Mangekyo Sharingan ability. All these are merged together. From this moment on, Qianyu has completely surpassed Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara and entered the entire ninja history. The pinnacle ever. Reach the top. No one can beat it.